Righty, well, welcome to this week's Talk or Ask Us Anything. It's been a huge news week. Huge. Firstly, I think I might just start with something a little bit, well, actually very local to us and pretty special, actually. And that is that we have gained 1,000 members on our Facebook page. So I think that's, or in scientific notation, according to Facebook, it's 1.0K members. So I think that's a pretty good achievement for a very little club. So big kudos to Rob and Robin Dean, who actually started this Facebook group some years ago. Rob, how long ago was it?
6 years ago.
Fantastic.
And for the first 2 years, we had about 50 members maximum.
Indeed, indeed.
And 1,000 is the number for the week, isn't it?
Possibly
You're into 1,000 billion, are you?
It possibly might just be. Now, to that end, actually, we won't do that right this minute. We'll do another little bit of local news. One of our TOCLA members went to a bit of effort and got us this, which is direct confirmation that the Starlink Cataby ground station is up and running with 9 shiny balls poking up into the air. So I believe that this was the last impediment to having a Starlink service into Perth, because Cataby is the closest ground station. So that's a great achievement of SpaceX, and I guess a few of us in the room are just waiting for our dishes. So hurry up, Elon. Please get them to us as soon as you can.
It's because we know he's watching. Come on, Elon.
He is. He's watching all the time. Now, the next bit is the Tesla. This was last Thursday morning, our time, which was the Tesla Q3 earnings call. And I think, apart from the great results, which we can go through a little bit later on, including Tesla's, I think, Pete, was their automotive margin 30%?
Yeah,
it was in Q3.
The gross margin 30.5% or 28.8% ex credits.
Yes, it's
probably one of the highest in the industry among any major auto manufacturers.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's just impressive that in such adverse environment where they've had to do expediting of logistics and basically shifting a lot of parts by air freight, they've still managed to bang out effectively a 30% gross margin, which is just extraordinary. But I think one of the most telling parts of the actual earnings call, it was firstly notable that this was, I think, the first earnings call where Elon Musk was absent. And he had planned that in the previous, or he basically indicated that in the previous earnings call, that he would not be attending future earnings calls unless there was some major announcement. So the tone was a little bit different, but it was an excellent call. But I think the main takeaway, which only a few days later ended up becoming very important, was that of Zach Kirkhorn. And he said, and I quote, there appears to just be quite a profound awakening of desirability for electric vehicles, and to be totally frank, it has caught us a little bit off guard. And that was sort of a bit of a portent of what was going to come a few days later. But for Tesla to actually admit that with all their optimism and all of Elon Musk's optimism, the actual demand for electric vehicles, and namely Teslas, has literally taken Tesla off guard. And, you know, what an awesome problem to have. But we'll get to why that became very important a few days later in a moment. Just a little bit of, well, other news. some analysis of Tesla's smartphone app has dredged up 3 new colors. And that's, you can actually see them here. That's deep crimson multicoat, abyss blue multicoat, and mercury silver metallic. So basically we can expect those to be the new colors, not necessarily out of Shanghai, but absolutely certainly out of Berlin. So that's a little bit of color news. Tesla's obviously famously been known for its dearth of colors. So let's hope perhaps Shanghai might get an upgrade too. Moving over to some more international news, Jaguar Land Rover have joined Honda in Tesla's EU CO2 emissions pool. So I think it was Fiat Chrysler had actually hopped out of that pool. This is to do with balancing your CO2 emissions across the fleet. Tesla's CO2 emissions per kilometre is 0. Obviously, all the other ICE manufacturers have significant emissions. And I think Jaguar Land Rover had a £35 million fine last year for excessive fleet emissions. So it's great to see that they've joined the Tesla pool. That obviously means that Tesla will get a few more regulatory credits, as Pete alluded to earlier. Does make a small difference, but you know, it's a shrinking difference these days because Tesla's turnover is so great. So the next one, this happened Monday. Pete, what time was this announced? That Tesla has signed a 100,000 car 14-month contract with Hertz Rent-A-Car.
It was before market opened. It was, so it would have been before 4 p.m. Perth time. Before even the
Pre-open.
yes, before
Yes.
even the pre-open. Yes, yeah, worth $4.2 billion, which is incredible because if you divide that by 100,000, you get to about $42,000 a car. And Elon confirmed that despite Hertz making the world's largest order for EVs, they didn't get a cent discount. They paid the same as you and me walking down the street and off the street and into the shop.
And you can see that as clear as anything. He said exactly that. Which, I mean, Pete, you know, car rental companies live and die on the slimmest of margins and on the absolute minimum total cost of ownership of that vehicle for a period of time.
Exactly.
And, you know, you've been banging on about the fact that, for instance, a standard range plus Model 3 in Poverty Pearl White, or possibly even in a premium colour, outpaces something like a Toyota Camry in total cost of ownership over a few years. Well, if anyone wants any evidence at all that that's absolutely true, and then some, you've just got to look at a company that's just committed to buying 100,000 Teslas.
Is that worldwide?
No,
Yes.
that's just in the US. But
No,
they've got a.
And
They
Europe.
said.
And Europe.
Okay.
Pete.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yes,
They
and Europe.
they said so. They've got a 500,000 vehicle fleet, which includes their cars and their trucks worldwide. And they said that this was an initial order. So
Wow.
they've left room for it's a non-exclusive deal. So Hertz can procure cars from other manufacturers and Tesla can supply other car rental companies. But yeah, it sounds like this is one of more, you know, more to come. But what you were saying, Harold, is you must have read my mind, or maybe great minds think alike. I don't know, but that's you might find a quote exactly to that in Saturday's paper, hopefully. But that's pretty much exactly what I said. So
Well,
yeah,
I'm going to take what the first bit you said, which was great minds think alike, Pete, because I'm going to claim that my mind is almost as good as yours. And,
Oh, geez.
I'll
Yeah,
take that
I
any
don't
day, mate.
Yeah, I don't think so, Harold. Yeah, I think you're being way too modest there, mate.
Hertz are looking to the point that they will all their maintenance costs will virtually disappear. All they'll have to do is clean and polish the cars.
Exactly. And so they've offered a deal up until January of free charging. And if they had to do that with an internal combustion engine car, that would cost them 3 times as much. So they're able to do things like that. And, you know, the rental companies, they usually only keep their cars for roughly about 12 months or so, and then they have to swap them out. So they've got 2 options here. They can either keep the cars longer and hence lower their capital costs, or they can sell them at a higher resale price, because we know the Model 3s depreciate less than an average car. So either way they decide to go, it's a benefit to the bottom line.
But it is a hefty $4 billion order.
4.2,
Yeah.
billion
You're
US.
muted, Harold. No.
It's 10%. Sorry if you read my lips. It's 10% of Tesla's. It's in excess of 10% of Tesla's current production.
Mm.
And over the 14 months, it's just under 7%. So, and that's assuming that Tesla produces, let's say, 900,000 cars today, this year, and maybe a 60% growth rate next year. So,
And by the way, if you're in the United States and you intended on purchasing a standard range plus Model 3, they will be able to deliver that to you in September.
11 months.
11 months.
Now, what you can do is, Rob Mao picked up on this, if you
Yes.
order them more expensive wheels, it brings your time frame forward. And once again, just means that Tesla is getting higher margins. And that's effectively what this deal will do, is Tesla is supply constrained or production ramp constrained. So they won't be necessarily producing more cars as a result of this deal, but just means the waiting times will stretch out more and the prices will continue to increase and the margins will be even bigger than 30%. And Q3 didn't include any Model X sales, and Model S wasn't even fully ramped up. So Q4 margins will be, geez, probably closer to 35, 40%.
Exactly.
Maybe not 40%. 40% maybe on the S and X, but yeah, over 30%.
So obviously what this announcement did that Monday night and the following, well, it was yesterday morning. It's been so long ago. Well, it seems so long ago. What that did was it took Tesla to a closing price of $1,024.86. And just in case some of you out there weren't sure about what that actually meant, what that meant was that Tesla's market cap closed at $1.02 trillion. So just let that sink in for a moment, because it wasn't too many years ago when Tesla struggled to be a $50 billion company, when Tesla proposed the outlandish Elon Musk share what did you call it, Pete? It wasn't a compensation scheme. It was a share
Allocation.
Yeah, it was a
share vesting package. Or
Yeah. which had, in some parallel universe, had all of the tranches been satisfied, it would have guaranteed that Elon Musk would have become the world's richest man and would have received hundreds of billions of dollars in share value for a
but if
company
but if the stock did nothing, he would have got paid
nothing. So he famously he has to be written a check for about $50,000 US to meet Californian law, at least until they move the head office to Texas, in which case he could possibly be paid nothing, but he famously never cashes that check. So he's got a whole drawer of probably 10 or 12 or whatever of them, and he never cashes them on principle. He was on a hiding to nothing. If the company went banco, he got nothing. The company did very little. At $50 billion, he got nothing. But if the company outlandishly got to a market capitalization of in excess of $650 billion odd dollars, he would get shares vested. He'd get an extra 20% of the company, which at those prices would have rendered him the world's richest man. And even the most strident of us shareholders thought that is just an amazing deal. If that could be pulled off, that would just be amazing. But then other people would say, yeah, but $650 billion is just a stepping stone. Tesla will become a $1 trillion company. And, you know, some of us shareholders just went, yeah, that's awesome, but, you know, let's dream on. And on Tuesday morning, they closed as a $1 trillion company. And just in case, you know, some people may think we're in parallel universes or maybe even a simulation, we just have a look at this little screen. Their share closing price was $1,024.86. And if right now we just reverse those numbers, so we basically go 68.4201, and we think, well, that's not a big deal. And then we just take that one and add it to the first two numbers. We end up with 69.420. Now, if that's not a simulation, I don't know what is. And that's from Tesla. That's the first time that Tesla hit $1 trillion. And those numbers transformed to 69.420.
Someone was finding it hard to go to sleep waiting for the close.
Yes.
So, do we take the blue pill or the red pill?
Well, what I did was,
No, you take the metallic crimson pill.
to be perfectly honest, I took a wee just before 4 o'clock, and I looked at my watch on the closing, and it's like, oh my God, it's over $1,000. And then as it closed at 1,024.86, I kept on looking at those numbers, going, oh my God, I can make 420.69 or 69.420.
Now, some other interesting stats. So Tesla took 18 years to get to $1 trillion. Microsoft took 44 years. Apple took 42 years. Amazon took 24 years, and Google took 21 years. So the fastest out of any of those companies. And they've just overtaken Facebook to become the 6th largest company by market cap. So, so the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So number 9 is Tencent. Number 8 is Berkshire Hathaway. Number 7 now is Facebook. Tesla is number 6. And it's only behind Amazon, Alphabet or Google, Saudi Aramco, Microsoft and Apple.
I thought there was an article that said that Elon Musk is worth more than ExxonMobil or one of the big petrochemical.
Well, he's worth, on the day that Tesla closed at 10.24, he was worth $289 billion. Jeff Bezos was at $193 billion behind him. And who'd you say? ExxonMobil.
Yes, I think it was ExxonMobil. He was worth more than them. One of the big oil companies. He had a bigger market cap than one of those big oil companies. Just himself.
Market cap, ExxonMobil market cap at the moment is $278 billion, and he was worth $289 billion. So
there you go.
You're right. By a cool 10 billion more.
So he's not even 50, is he? He is 50, or is he 40 something, high 40s?
Yeah.
And ExxonMobil is probably 100 and something years old, and a huge corporation that's done so much damage to the environment vicariously. And here's one individual that single-handedly, basically, almost, has amassed more worth than that company.
But is
He's
he happy?
50.
He's
He was
50.
born on the 28th of June, 71.
Yes.
No. But Elon has been unlucky in love.
Wow.
Well, yes. And actually, one little segue, one last little bit of news, which is not fantastic, is, and you'll wonder why I put this face up, but there is a reason. This man, on that same night, went to sleep on Monday, and
Yeah.
on Tuesday morning didn't wake up.
Yes.
Russell.
So now that's Russell Wolf. The reason why I mentioned him specifically is quite a lot of us famously, I think Jared's on, famously listen to the ABC in our cars, but quite often when we heard Russell on the radio, if there was any segment related to EVs, one of the often statements he would make is that when he was in Minneapolis, he had ridden in a Tesla and that they were awesome cars, and that he always wanted to get one. So every time there was an EV segment, he would always wax lyrical about Teslas. So I just thought I'd want to just say Valet Russell Wolf.
Amen.
All right, so moving right along to some more entertainment.
Actually,
this is-
Harold,
Yes.
Harold, just quickly before you do, just wanted to share one more screen relating to what we just spoke about, and that's this one here. Is that come up?
Oh, yes.
So that's Tesla's
yes.
market cap
Yes.
compared. So there's $1 trillion compared to Toyota at what, just under 250 billion, VW a couple of $100 billion, then Mercedes, GM, BMW, Ford, Ferrari, Honda, and a whole lot of others, including Volvo, Hyundai, Harley Davidson, Subaru, Aston Martin, Mazda. So they're worth more. The market values them more than, I think I counted about 15 of their next. So when I was on that Channel 7 show, they didn't end up
Flashpoint.
they didn't end up airing the part where I said that Tesla is, there's got to be a reason why Tesla is worth more than the next top 5 manufacturers combined. Well, that wasn't that long ago. That was only a few months ago, and now it's more than the next top 15 manufacturers combined. Absolutely incredible.
Maybe Gordon L. Johnson has got a point that they are grossly overpriced and the share price should only be about $80 or $90.
Well, if you look to the past, even if you look to the past, no, but look, he's Stephen Mark Ryan referred to him as having a fetish for humiliation.
Yeah, look, he's a brilliant person. He
knows
so
what he's
good.
doing.
He is 7,300 and something out of the top 7,500 people.
Rated analysts in terms of
I mean, he's so good.
Yeah. But look, I knew the results would have to be good, because if Gordon Johnson gets up and says, yes, Tesla's results will be good, Q3 results will be, if he's resigned to the fact that they'll have good Q3 results, then yeah.
But afterwards he did say, but their solar side of things is hemorrhaging money. Those are his words.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's a whole Wall Street conspiracy that, they made the numbers look good for Q3, apparently.
Yeah, and he's obviously on side with Missy Cummings.
Well, she's resigned from Veneer under some pressure from the Tesla community, and others.
All righty, well, now's probably a good time to introduce our new people on this channel. So please, Fang, welcome to you.
Hello there.
Please tell us about your car.
Oh, well, I've only had it for a month, and
And what is
I
it?
bought it in Perth. It's a Model 3 standard range, white with the white interior. And I live in Kalgoorlie, so my first challenge was to get it home, which I quite easily did. I topped it up at Merredin, and I could make it from Merredin all the way through to Kalgoorlie reasonably comfortably. Yeah, so around Kalgoorlie, there's a couple of Tesla chargers, destination chargers. Two of them are at a hotel. And there's also the Shire themselves. They have a charger at their Shire building. So we're reasonably well served, but of course, everyone would love to have a supercharger.
Bang, are you the third person in Kalgoorlie with a Tesla?
Oh, I'm going to say I'm the second person in Kalgoorlie.
Second. Right. Very good. May I ask, what did you have before? Where did you come from?
Sorry, I've been in Kalgoorlie for about 10 years. Sorry?
No, sorry. What car were you driving before the Model 3?
Oh, okay. So I had a PEV Outlander.
Excellent.
Really, really, really good car. But unfortunately, you can't get away from the fact that you're restricted to 40 to 50 kilometres, and then you're on the old dinosaur juice.
One thing you won't miss with that car is we used to have the PHEV, the Outlander as well. One thing you won't miss with it is when you put the foot down to overtake up a hill and the generator kicks in and starts, screaming at you. You won't be missing any of that.
I had a PHEV a couple of years ago as well. And the annoying thing was mine would do about 40 kilometres on the battery.
Yeah.
And it was 19 Ks to work and 19 Ks home. And I was not running any petrol. And then one day it said, no, you can't run battery. You've got to drink half a tank of juice before you. And I go, this is pointless.
Stale fuel.
Stale fuel.
Yes.
I didn't get that with the Outlander, but because we drove a little bit more, but with the Volt, that's got roughly about a 70 to 80 kilometre EV only range. And yeah, I'd be sitting on the lights and plenty of juice in the battery, and all of a sudden the generator kicks in.
That's right. And the other thing that happens, Harold, is the winter time. The damn engine would start every time because it wants to get the heater going.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. I think the Porsche, is it the Panamera, the hybrid, that does the same thing. It'll do cooling, I think, without the engine, but heating it just burns petrol basically. So yeah, terrible waste.
I do have a question, or at least some sort of comment. Are you ready for questions?
Actually, if you can just hold that for a moment, I think Q, you're new, and that rhymes,
yes,
which is even better. So welcome, and please tell us about your car.
Right. Well, I am a soon to be a former ICE driver. I have ordered one 2 days ago, a Model 3 long range. So that has been organised, and I'm pretty blown away how fast they can knock the machine out for me. And they said it should be here early December. There's hardly a car on the market which is able to say that at the moment.
And what wheels did you go for?
Whatever it comes with. I didn't ask for the super duper ones. I saw this. I did get the roof rack though.
Oh, right. Excellent.
So you've got a long range.
Yes.
Q.
Yes.
Cool, because there aren't many of them left. Actually, on Tesla's website,
you don't get to pick the wheels on the long range, Pete. You only get one choice.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Because on the standard range, you can You've got
And the
two
battle
choices. I
would
think
be-
it's $1,200 more for the.
Yeah,
for the
no, no, no,
19.
The silver ones. That's all you get to pick from.
you
Yeah,
get
right.
eight, you get 19s or 19s. That's your choice.
But you can pick any wheels you like as long as they're 19s. Sure.
And 4 of them, please.
And,
Right.
and there are none in stock anymore. So you can see that you've got SR pluses, 2 SR pluses left, and 1, 2, 6 performance cars, and that's it. And that's all that's available until next year.
Really? So
Yeah.
I've chosen the right time to buy, obviously.
They must have had a silver one in inventory somewhere.
Yep. Well, whatever the grey gunmetal one is called.
Midnight Silver.
Midnight Silver. Yes, I can certainly see some parallels with the Teslas, with the Apples along the way. It's almost exactly the same that I've noticed with the owners of these. Back in the early days, Apple owners were sort of, why did you buy one of those? It's going to be interesting to see how this all goes.
Well, you know, your mentioning of Apple is a great parallel, because Apple have famously sort of been expensive, without compromise.
Yep.
Ahead of the curve.
Yes.
Big nod there to Pete. Wink, wink. Nod, nod. And as I used to say, but Pete continues to correct me appropriately, I used to say that a Tesla is an iPad on wheels because of the big screen.
Yes.
Except Pete quite correctly states that Tesla actually had that big screen on 4 wheels before the iPad was invented. So perhaps the iPad should be called a Tesla with no wheels. But that technology thing, and the other thing too is, I think Apple doesn't have the majority of smartphone sales, but they've got something like 90% of the profit.
Yeah.
And that's sort of a bit of a parallel of, I think, the way Tesla's going to go. It's not going to have, you know, more than 50% of the market, but by God, it's going to make a big proportion of the profits.
But that's possibly only while they still have a limited supply, because I think they'll start to drive the price down once they aren't limited. You know, I think they'll drive it down the cost curve. So yeah,
Hang on,
because
Kim.
it's all about, you know, I think Elon has mentioned this a couple of times, that the way Tesla should be judged is by how many years they've accelerated the transition to renewable energy. So
Yeah, absolutely. And the funny thing, sorry, go Ken.
No, I was just going to Apple fanboy you and go, hang on, iPads predate Tesla Model S's by about 2.5 years.
what was that, Ken?
iPads predate Tesla Model S by about 2.5 years, so I'm not certain that that's a true statement in any meaningful way. But anyway, I'll leave that one.
So there's a fact check from Ken. Thank you, Ken. You and Pete can discuss that amongst yourselves, or amongst each other, should I say.
Only because I was an early adopter of both Tesla and Apple iPads, you know, so I bought them both far too expensively.
Well, I got that factoid from one of the Tesla biographies, Elon Musk biographies, the latest one that's come out. It's the one that Elon has said that isn't 100% correct. And I don't think he was referring to that. But unless the author got that wrong, I'm going to have to, thanks for the pickup, Ken, but you've now made me very curious.
Nigel's a big iPad fan.
No, the Apple iPad was first unveiled on January the 27th, 2010.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And when did the Model S come out?
2012.
There you
Ooh.
Ooh.
Sorry, Harold.
No, I'm not sorry. No, don't be sorry.
No,
about me,
you should be saying sorry to me. I got that wrong.
You just stuffed up, Pete.
Hey, I'm sure there was some sort of prototype for a Model S some point before then that wasn't released. You're probably referring to, right?
No. Hang on. So this is where I think Ken's getting it wrong, because you're using the Model S, but don't forget the Roadster had a big screen in it.
It's big.
Well, it was big for a car.
Yeah, to a small person, that's very big.
It was the biggest screen of any car back then.
And it wasn't a touch screen. And I'm sorry, I'm calling bullshit on that one.
Okay, before we descend into what we normally do later in the evening, I might just quickly segue to anyone else that's new. Please put your hand up, metaphorically or literally, or just shout out and say hello in the next few seconds.
Hi.
No, hi.
There we go. Hi.
Oh, Lynn, yes. You guys have been on before.
No.
No, we've been to the.
Oh, sorry. We saw you at near the. It was near the Supercharger.
Yeah, we were at the Optus show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome. Well, welcome to Ask Us Anything. Please tell us about your car.
We've had it, what?
2 months.
2 months, yep. Model 3.
Standard range plus?
Standard range.
Standard, yes.
White?
White.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And how have you found your car in 2 months?
Oh, we're very happy with it. We've got a question we'll come back to when the questions are on.
Yes, cool. Yes, we're going to get to questions very, very soon in the next minute or so. Is there anyone else that's...
Before we move off,
yes,
what was
Russell.
your name? Sorry, was that...
Ross.
What was your name, mate? Sorry?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
My name's Billy, my wife's Lynn.
Okay, Billy, cool. Do you reckon you can do me a favour and tell me it's not how you make porridge?
It's a closely guarded family secret.
Someone's trying to do comedy tonight, Russell. Come on, hey?
It's too early in the evening.
Russell's on fire.
Way too early.
Excuse me, Russell. That's Jared's job.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes, we each have our roles. Jared is the comedian. Dr. Dick is the mod guru, and Harold is the MC. And yeah.
Now, okay. Actually, I don't think the doctor is in the house at the moment.
He's doing emergency surgery somewhere, I think.
Right. Okay, because we've got a special mention for him later on, but that's okay. He might come on later. Okay, is there anyone else that's new or been here for the first time?
Carmen? Oh, just catch
What's
out.
that?
Anyone else? Okay.
Yeah, there's someone, Kelvin says he's new here. But
Oh,
he's not Tesla
okay.
owner
So
yet.
welcome, Kelvin. Not a Tesla owner yet, just here to tune in. Oh yeah, cool, no worries. Patiently waiting for the Model Y to come out. Well, that's a good thing.
Oh, you've only got 2 weeks to wait.
2 weeks.
Oh, you can't say that, Nigel. You said that too soon. I haven't spooled that up yet. So much pressure.
I've just realised Fang is actually the dog of Get Smart. There you go. I just realised that one. Fang was Get Smart's dog.
Absolutely.
Share that
You missed it by that much.
Close, but
So how long was that Model Y going to take? What was that?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah,
2 weeks.
yeah.
2 weeks? Really? Yeah, that's all.
Any idea when you're going to be finished
It's not
here?
working.
Make that screen bigger, Harold.
That screen's gone bad. 2 weeks.
I do get the permits. How long will it
Hey,
take?
Harold,
2
we
weeks.
can't see any video.
2 weeks? 2 weeks? You sound like...
That worked really well.
It's very early in the night to be doing the 2 weeks. And
Don't worry, Harold, you'll get it right in 2 weeks.
So could you see anything at all, or was it just the wrong screen?
Nothing. No, it was
Wrong screen.
We could see the background.
How about this?
Yeah,
There we
That's
go.
all that'll take.
Yeah.
2 weeks? Really? Yeah, that's all.
Any idea when you're going to be finished here?
2 weeks.
How long will it take to put this place together?
2 weeks. I do get the permits. How long will the job take? 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks? 2 weeks? You sound like a parakeet there. 2 weeks? 2 weeks? Well, 2 weeks. It's amazing.
Amazing nothing. It'll be a regular miracle.
Is this the endless run of Harold's 80s references that no one in the room will get?
Actually, it's funny. It's actually really funny you should mention that, Ken, because
you love it.
There's actually another little 80s reference that
don't do it, Harold. It's too early.
I want to bring up, and that I really hope this works. I really hope this works. I'll just go with it and tell me if it does or doesn't. Can you see this?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're as cold as ice.
Oh God.
Oh, that's so good. That's
So good, Pete. So good.
That's so good, isn't it? Alex loves it.
I love it. It's great.
So just
Great reaction.
I think just in case we missed that, because it was pretty short, and I do dare say that will just float under the algorithm for demonetizing this video. Let's just do that again.
8 seconds, I think, you know?
You're as cold as ice.
Anyway, once again, I spent far too much time on that, but I think it was worth it. All right, let's go to questions. I'll just check my news, and we've got Dr. Dick's Corner, but that's coming later. So let's throw it to questions. So who was
Hank
it?
had the first one, I think. Harold.
Yes.
Bang.
Okay. Hank, shoot.
Oh, hello there. And okay, so I don't know if it's a question or a comment, but I find that the autopilot, right? I find it brings me too close to the center line. I find that uncomfortable. I guess I've been driving for 50 years. Obviously, never had this sort of system in a car. And I like to stay on the left a bit. And I just can't do that with the auto steer. Does anyone else have that sort of uncomfortable feeling when there's a vehicle coming the other way?
Yeah, Fang, they'll be for two reasons. You've already identified the first, which is that humans naturally cut the corners when, and that's the way we like to drive. And if both of the cars cut the corners, then both cars coming around the turn seem to shift by roughly the same amount, and everything's fine. But the car will never cut a corner. It will always try and stay exactly in the middle of the lane, which will feel like you're further on the outside than you actually are, because naturally you'd be cutting that corner. That's one of the reasons. There is actually a second reason. If you take that turn too fast, or if that turn is quite sharp, the car can sometimes struggle to stay even in the center of the lane, and it will wear out a little bit. So, and even if it wears out a little bit and gets close to the outside lane, with you naturally wanting to be closer to the inside lane, it will feel very uncomfortable. But yeah, if it's not too sharp a turn and you're going the speed limit, it's just a matter of getting used to it. But yeah, if you're going a bit faster, or if the turn is fairly sharp, then that's a good time to make sure that you're extra vigilant with being ready to take over, because you're still 100% responsible for the car.
That's right. However, I'm talking about out on the highway, and where the speed limit is obviously 110, and just normal highway driving, I still get very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it does it more so on country roads, which
Yes.
which have got the higher speed limit and the sharper turns. In the city you won't get that combination as often. So it's more prevalent outside.
So I'm not alone in that. There are other people that do feel uncomfortable as well.
I think we all do.
I think it's fair to say I've got used to it over time. It was initially a discomfort that it seemed to want to stay far more central than I liked, but I think I've got used to it now. I just drove back from Margaret River today and on autopilot all the way, and I'm kind of used to where it sits now. So.
Okay, then. Yep.
If you put the rear camera on, what you'll see when you see the rear image is actually is completely in the center of the lane, absolutely to within millimeters.
Yes.
If you just look at the rear camera, those lines, the dotted lines and the sideline is precisely in the center, and it never wavers. So
it's amazing, isn't it?
Look, from my point of view, I'm completely used to it. I could fall asleep basically on autopilot if I was allowed. If I was allowed.
So that Missy will be watching.
You do have to get used to it. And in fact, actually, Fang, there was a version. It was more than a year ago. It was probably 18 months ago, where the car actually would slightly bias to the left if there was a large truck or something to the right of you.
Okay.
And to be honest, I found that a bit disconcerting, because it was I felt it was coming closer to the car to your left. And it was sort of wavering in and out and sort of zigging and zagging and whatever. These cars are just deadly in the center.
Not all the time, Harold. There's a turn right near where I live, and I know that if I go the speed limit of that turn, it starts to go past the halfway line. And I've turned the camera on, as you said, and you can just you just know, because it's wearing out so much. But if I go at least 5, but definitely if I go 10k below the speed limit, it stays right in the middle. It just that one turn, and it's been happening for 2 years, and it's always the case at that one.
Yes.
One turn.
You're actually right. Yeah, you did right.
Can I just finish on this comment, if you like? I've yet to pay for any electricity, and I'm very concerned about it. I want to pay the people at Merredin. I want to pay the people in Perth, and I want to pay the people in Southern Cross if I stop there. But nobody seems to want to take my money at the moment. What's going on?
Don't worry, we'll take it.
Actually, yes.
Put it on Patreon.
Thank you very much, Nigel. You can support us, Fang. Go to patreon.com/Tokwa, and you can become a Patreon supporter. But seriously, it obviously is a saying that if something is for free, then someone else is paying for it. But
yes.
A lot of the locations that do provide this, and it does cost them money to do this, there are a few reasons why they benefit. Firstly, they basically get your car in their town for a specific purpose, as in to charge. But while you're there, you'll vicariously go to a cafe or a shop or whatever. There are also distinctive environmental reasons why it's beneficial, as far as when you're arriving there, you're not emitting any pollutants. So there's an environmental benefit, there's a social benefit, and there are some councils and some businesses that do advocate for EVs.
Yeah, no, it's very, it's, I mean, I'm used to paying for stuff, and even here in Kalgoorlie, I was telling you about the destination charges for the Teslas. There's 2 at a hotel, and I even went inside and said, who do I pay? And they said, no, just hook it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, that just goes to show, and you know, one wonderful thing about Teslas, and some of the Teslas are quite expensive, is that they are the epitome of an unpretentious but awesomely sought after car. It's like a, you know, everyone loves Tesla. You know, it used to be said that if you owned a Porsche, you by definition must be wealthy because you can sort of afford to, in a sense, waste money on on something that's pure performance. Well, a Tesla is universally admired. Kids love it. You know, young adults, middle-aged people, and older people love Teslas universally. So look, they're just happy to see you, Fang. That truly, when they see you charging your car at their place, they just think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Just to pick up on that one though, it never hurts to go in and buy a steak sandwich. And
yes, that's right. That's right. Exactly. Yes. And but I did notice one of the things you said there, Harold, was the kids. Is definitely the kids who love Teslas. They just watch me go by.
And they all know what it is. They all know. You know, and that's a wonderful thing. It's amazing. It's I don't know if you're aware of it yet, but there is something called Tesla time. There famously used to be something called Elon time, which was when he promised that something would happen, you'd normally have to double it or treble it and then add 2 years. But there's a thing called Tesla time, which is when you go to the shops just to grab something or whatever, just as you get out of the car and you're in a big hurry, this person will come up to you and go, oh, is that a Tesla? And you'll go, oh, yes. And the great thing is all us owners are magnanimous, and we're happy just to spruik our cars because we know how awesome they are. We want to share that. But people are curious and they'll ask you. And then something that was going to take 2 minutes is going to take 12 minutes because you're going to have to show your car and the interior and the frunk. And like, oh, look, I don't know where my engine is. You pop the frunk and I don't know where it's gone. They love that.
Yeah, and if you're anything like me, I end up taking them for a drive.
Yeah. Me too. And I think most of us do. It's brilliant. But just one pro tip, if you've just come in and someone's come to you, make sure you hook up and you've got your cable in before you start. Just say, hang on, give me 2 seconds. Yeah. And just plug your cable in and then talk.
Yes. So Fang, Q, and everyone else that's new, there's the ABC, always be charging. So plug in first and then talk.
Always bring coffee.
True.
And always browse comments on PlugShare, because the charger that you're going to, the previous person may have put a note in there saying that it's out of order or what have you.
And in fact,
always broken chargers.
Well, and in fact, this is a perfect segue for a gentleman that's in the room, and that's David, aka Susie. So, David, please do tell us how your adventure went going down to Albany on the weekend.
Well, ABC stands for always bring a cable.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Always bring cables.
And it also stands for always browse comments. So I might just, by way of introduction, on Saturday evening, I was home alone because my good wife was out for a social event, and I was sort of a bit of a loss as to what I would do. So I thought I'll just go and grab a beer and maybe watch some YouTube videos of Bjorn Nyland going around Norway or something. And then I got a phone call. What time was it roughly?
Oh, about 9:30, yeah.
About 9:30. And
early one.
And David rang, and I'll just put up PlugShare. and he was actually at the McDonald's Arana, and he sort of said that he was there, but he didn't have a Type 2 charging cable. And I thought, oh well, no sweat.
I'll nip one down to him.
He had mentioned that he actually that they went to stay at the Amity. I'll bring that up as well. The Amity. Oops, sorry. Oh, that's weird. Anyway, at the Country Comfort Amity Motel, but that the HPWC, which is there, wasn't working. So he then went to the Orana McDonald's, and when he rang me from the Orana McDonald's, he had 16 kilometers left on his battery.
Ooh.
So then I thought, oh, okay, well, if Amity's not working, then perhaps go down to the City of Albany Civic, the visitor centre, because there's a great HPWC there. But when he got there, there was a car already charging. So then I thought, okay, I hopped on PlugShare and saw the Albany Harbourside apartments and guided David and Susie there. And what they saw when they got there was something like this, which was a Model 3 charging there. So then I suggested to go back to the visitor centre. Oh, and actually before then I said, oh, well, just go into your boot and you'll have your UMC, your Universal Mobile Connector that came free with your car, and plug. You can go back to the Amity and sort of the kitchenette is right near the front door, and you might be able to just reach from a 10 amp outlet to your car. But then unfortunately, David then said to me that he had left the UMC at home because that's what he was using to charge, and all he had in the box was this cable.
Ouch.
But that wasn't going to help. So then...
is this a sad story, Harold?
No, it's not.
Oh, good. I was just waiting for Lassie to come in here any second now. And,
He's setting the scene, Jared. He's setting the scene, Jared.
No. So then I'm in one sense, I mean, I'm sort of stressing out a bit because I'm vicariously feeling the vibes. And I'm going, I really don't know what to do. And then I sort of suggested, well, maybe if you write a note and put it on the windscreen of the car that's charging at the visitor centre, hopefully when they stop charging, because I hope they wouldn't just leave the car there overnight. I figured they'd be good citizens and wouldn't leave it overnight. Because to be honest, I'm not entirely certain if an LFP battery, that's the SR Plus, the new cars, if they hate being at a very low state of charge overnight as much as the long range and performance cars. I just don't quite know how bad it would be for the battery, because normally it is pretty bad. So then I said, if you can write a note and put it on the windscreen, and David and Susie were really great, and they said, yeah, no worries, we'll do that. And they went, and I said, oh, please ring me back, let me know how things go. So I was consoling myself with a couple of beers, watching something on YouTube. And then David rang me back and said, well, David, you tell that story. You tell us the next bit.
Well, Harold told us to catch an Uber back to our motel, which was 3 or 4 k's away from the visitor centre. But Susie and I were so cross with one another that we thought we'll walk back to just feel better. And when we were halfway back to the motel, the phone call came and he said, I've just unplugged my car. I've plugged yours in. By the time you get back here, you'll be starting your charge, which was exactly what happened. Very nice guy. I couldn't have been more grateful to him. But I tell you what, we couldn't have been more grateful to Harold. We had him on the phone for about half an hour, I think, while we drove all over Albany. But it was then something after 10 o'clock. And we thought we can't just leave our car here to charge overnight. So we sat in the car for 3 hours watching YouTubes and videos or whatever you're doing in
We've all done that.
Tesla. And by 1 o'clock, we were both so grumpy, we were just being exhausted, that we went back to the motel, came back at 5 o'clock in the morning and finished the charging. And we had a wonderful weekend after that.
By the way, I just as a side issue, I actually did say to David that once you got to about 20%, you could just go back to the hotel room. But I presume, David, for your sins, you decided to just watch Netflix on your awesome screen.
But how did the other person put the charger in? Was the car unlocked?
Well, you just press the button and it opens your hatch.
Yeah. So Carmen, so if someone else's car is next to your car and you press the button on the
Charger, yeah.
charger, it'll actually open the charge flap of the locked car next to you, so you can then plug in.
Oh.
Does that only happen at chargers?
Yes. Yes.
Because
yes.
normally at home, if my car for some reason has locked, I can't even do that at home. I have to go and get my phone to unlock it.
Has anyone had experience with that or not?
No.
Okay.
Carmen, is your charger one of the Tesla chargers with the button
Yes.
on it?
Yes, it's the 11 kilowatt.
Yep.
Yeah. It should. I can certainly plug
Just
my
unlock,
car in
yeah,
when it's locked. Yeah.
Mine does it every night. Just no problem.
Okay.
My Model X doesn't. The Model X's don't. My wife's S does. So but I'm not familiar with threes.
So David and Susie, Susie and David, the only thing I can suggest to you next time, you're a member of the club, so you can get a tyre in the lead. You also get Harold's credit card, so you can just check into that hotel nearby and stay there the night and get yourself a nice breakfast in the morning, all part of the club. So
part of the service.
That's pretty good. Harold,
and a coffee at a McDonald's on the way through.
Exactly. So,
Harold, can I jump in here?
Yes, Stephen.
So you go to your charging bay and there's an ice car there. Can I ask the group what their reactions would be? Do you just walk away?
Slash the tyres, break the windows.
Flash the tyres.
Get a sledgehammer.
Aggressive, right? Well, I've tried a different. Famously, my Woolworths, where I go, is a magnet for people who park their ice cars there because the bays are always so full. And I've confronted the owners in a nice way, in an aggressive way, in a questioning way. And the responses have been rather poor. On the chat, I've put up a notice which I've printed out, which I put on the windscreen. From here on in, it says, for those who haven't read it, polite notice. In the UK, they do a thing that looks like police notice, but it actually reads polite notice. So get your attention. You're parking in an electric vehicle charging bay. We wouldn't park an EV car at a petrol pump. Even if the EV bay isn't occupied when you arrive, it may well be that an EV car will be along soon and want this space. Please be considerate. So I'm trying that to see if that changes behaviour.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, that is good. And I was just going to say, so I've had this as every EV driver dozens of times, and when the person's there, I have just politely, in Joondalup, I had a lady in a Mustang that parked across 2 EV bays.
Bloody hell.
So, she happened to be coming back as I was walking away from my car, and I just said, look, do you realise you've parked in a EV bay? And she just said, oh, look, they're never used. What are you talking about? There's no electric cars in Australia. And I said, well, there's one car there and there's another car there. And she looked at me and she said, are those electric? And I said, yes, they are. And I said, if you have a look at the number plate, so my number plate's electric, I said, if that doesn't give it away, it's a Tesla. And so her excuse was that she was busting to go to the toilet. She had the runs and had to park there. So I said, well, you must have had the runs for a long time, because it was 25 minutes ago that I parked there, and I've now come back. So it must have been there for 25 minutes at least. And she didn't like that and got back in the car and off she went. But no, you're right. Most of the time you won't get the response that you're looking for. But you can actually, so at Joondalup shopping centre at Lakeside Joondalup, they're pretty good. So if you ring the concierge and let them know, they'll send out the security guards, and the security guards will have a chat to them and ask them to move the car. And if there's no one in the car, they will actually ring the Shire, and the Shire can actually come out and give them a infringement notice.
Oh,
Well, this was in Darwin, where this car had parked in the Tesla Bay, and I had to charge because I was coming from Catherine, and I was going to Catherine to Darwin, back to Catherine, and I had no choice, but I had to plug in. Luckily, the lead was long enough, and what I did was I went to breakfast to the left of the car. There's like a little breakfast thingy cafe, and I was just having breakfast, and I actually put like I am charging if you need, to charge. I had my phone number, and I was there for about 45 minutes, and then this lady comes up to me and goes, "Do you have a Tesla?" And I said, "Yes." And she goes, "Oh, thank God." And as it turns out, she was actually catching a flight out of Darwin Airport in, I think it was like less than an hour's time. And she was stressing because she couldn't get a car out. And she goes, oh, can you please move your car? And she was a little bit uppity. And I said, well, yeah, no worries, of course. And I said, oh, by the way, when I went back to my car, did you see this red sign that had, if you need to charge or whatever, call me? Oh, no, I didn't see it. And I think she sort of got that self-punishment thing of, she realized she did the wrong thing. And initially, she sort of blamed me for blocking her, but I said, well, hey, I'm really sorry, but I had no other choice. I have to charge my car, otherwise I'd be stranded. And I think she learned a lesson.
Mm. In saying that though, Carmen's has got much better glasses now, so she can
see. I can see.
She can see a lot better now. So, in fairness to Carmen.
Yeah, I've had a few instances where an ICE vehicle has been blocking a charging bay, and they've come back to get their car. And I have tried to be really, really polite and say, look, next time, can you please not park here, because electric vehicles do need to get some power, to be met with go forth and multiply.
Yeah, but in fairness, not all of us have a black belt in self-defense, and not all of us carry a Glock handgun either. So I would strongly recommend that Stephen.
I've got a few attitude adjusters that I can use.
That's what I mean, Stephen. I would strongly recommend that don't approach the owner, especially if they're a young person, because they'd happily just punch yourself down, because that's what they do. If you want to do anything, just throw a brick through their window as you're going. That's fair enough. But generally, no, I personally wouldn't approach anyone about it, because in this day and age, no problem pulling out a knife and stabbing you, and all you're going to end up is in hospital for 9 months, or and they're going to get a $50 fine. So it's not worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah, you got to make a judgment call. So
absolutely, absolutely.
100%, Jared. The world's gone mad.
It's correct. I mean, unless you're Nigel, and you're 90 years old and you've got a black belt, it's different, But most of us don't have a black belt. Well, we do, but we can't move like Nigel can. So
is this the point, Harold, where we need to do the consumer advice may be suitable for?
Oh, 100%, yes. Yeah, we should have been playing that earlier. Definitely. 100%.
Yes,
he's pulling it up now.
Yeah, I am. And now I'm all stressed out because I've got to find it. Oh, dear.
Definitely, Stephen, I wouldn't approach anyone in this day and age, especially if they're young, because they've got an attitude this day and they'll go you, and it's not worth it. You know,
while we're on the topic, at Eton, a couple of weeks ago at Eton, there was a guy with a trailer, a ute with a trailer, and he parked across all 6 superchargers.
Yeah. There was a tanker truck. Wasn't there a tanker truck that parked across?
Yeah, that was a couple of days ago, but I think he got stuck. I don't think that was deliberate.
Yeah, no, he didn't know the road was closed, and he got stuck and couldn't turn it around. So
that's fair enough. He would have moved. So yeah, definitely won't approach anyone young, Stephen.
Should we move on to more questions?
Statement is general in nature and shouldn't be taken as personal professional advice. Listeners should seek their own independent assessment from a qualified advisor and not rely on the general nature of information in this program.
But I strongly recommend, though, Stephen, if you've got that card made up, that nice card that you've made up, attach that to a nice brick and throw it straight through the window.
I think I'll just put under the windscreen wiper for the moment.
Yeah. I think that probably the best thing is, like Pete said, ring the ranger. Ring the local Shire ranger and say, hey, this is what's going on. They can come around and get stabbed and deal with it, let them deal with it.
Anyway, moving right along. Have we got more questions?
I think we just lost Lynn there, Harold. I think they've just left. So watch us back on YouTube. Thanks, guys.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Speaking of which, so obviously this session is being recorded as it is every week, and it's on our TOCWA YouTube channel. So if you just go onto YouTube and search TOCWA, please make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you're like, many of our viewers, like Damon, he'll watch it in half-hour slabs so that it's not too severe on his narcolepsy, because he just can't stay awake for more than half an hour watching or listening to our dulcet tones. Yes, so do go onto YouTube and watch us later or again. All right, so any new questions, or actually any new people that have joined us since?
I suppose I'm new.
Yes, Mike, I was looking at you.
Joined the club. I've joined the Facebook group and that sort of thing, because I'm looking down the barrel of getting an old S. And
cool.
I'm just sort of wondering, I just wanted to stick my nose into it. I'm a good mate of Richard Cooper. You all know the doctor, apparently.
Yes.
The famous Dr. Cooper.
Yes, exactly. We've done a lot of car things together over the years, and now we're moving into the whole electric world. He's had his for a bit longer, and I'm still saving for mine. But I'm still in the Alfa Romeo world at the moment, playing with those. So having lots of fun with that. But
no wonder you can't afford a Tesla.
Yeah, well, they say you've never had a sports car until you've had an Alfa Romeo anyway.
Yeah. So
but moving up in the world and moving forward, it's one of those things that you just had to do. Unfortunately, my Alphas are just getting worth less and less, and it's very sad. But
well, so Mike, so you're looking at a Model S, second-hand S?
Yeah, it's hard in Western Australia because there are next to none available over here, and I'd have to get one out of the east if I was going to do it. And honestly, I don't have enough money to do it right at this moment, but I'm hoping at the beginning of next year or something like that, I'd have enough to do a jump into that sort of thing. I'm guessing that I know exactly what I want. I want a 2016-17 pre-facelift, a dual 85.
Wow, that's what. This is very interesting. So, do you prefer the aesthetics of the pre-facelift?
No, I'm actually hoping to do what other American YouTubers do and put their own front on. I was having a bit of a wander around yesterday. I went and visited the guys up at J&M Auto Repairs, who are the new specified Tesla people. And they said, no.
Sorry, who are they? J&M?
J&M Auto Repairs, who are up in Wangara.
Cool.
They're a Tesla authorized repairer.
Yep.
And so I went and had a bit of a chat with those guys, and they said, no, really, if you want to get a bumper, they can't offer me one. It's got to be something through Tesla and through insurance and those sort of things. So I went down to Osmond Park and had a chat with the service guys down there. And they said, oh, yeah, we can sell you one. And they'd be quite happy to sell me one. And I imagine it'd be upwards of $2,000 for a front bumper. It would just take a bit of messing around to make it fit the car properly. I don't mind that sort of thing. You know, I've played with cars, I've built kit cars and these sort of things, so I know what I'm doing, and fiberglassing and that sort of thing, or just cutting to suit.
There are aftermarket retrofit front bumpers available that someone has already made, so they fit the classic nose and look like the new car.
Oh yeah, in Australia.
No, States.
But in the States.
Yeah, I've seen them 2,400 US, something like that. They're very happy to ship it worldwide and all those sort of things. I've done that, and I've contacted them, and they're all very happy to do it. But you know, I was just thinking maybe I could do something local or do something myself.
The front radar mount is a little bit different, so you might need a little bit of finagling to make it fit, but I'm sure it'll be doable, as you say.
Yeah, as long as it does go over the top of the impact bar. I'm guessing that I would take the majority of things off the old pre-facelift and make it fit all the other ones. You know, if it doesn't fit, I'll just make something to suit. But something that looks nice still.
So Mike, what's your Model S budget roughly, without being too personal?
To get straight to the point.
No, given that we're being recorded, so I need to buy what you're happy with, because we're going onto YouTube, as you know. So I mean, are you looking to get something really cheap, like 50K or 60, 70, 80?
I think 50K would be really optimistic.
Yes.
I'm hoping that things are going to change when the Y comes out, halfway through next year. So, as much as I was very keen to jump at something very soon, I am also aware that when the Y comes out, maybe a few people may be moving away from their pre-facelifts.
So what's your pessimistic price then?
Okay, 80.
Okay, so let me put this to you.
Yeah.
I hope this works. Oh, this isn't.
I know where you're heading, Harold.
That's not
where he's heading.
That's not at all working. Hang on a sec.
It almost happened.
It almost happened.
It almost happened.
Let me just pedal a little bit harder.
He's building it.
I'm doing it. It's technology. I should have bought a Mac.
Frame, full screen. There we go. Maybe that might work better. There we
go. Now it's working. Good. Right. So if you have a look at a Model 3,
yep.
Right. This is the Standard Range Plus in Poverty Pearl White. It does 0 to 105.6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And you can drive it away for $66,500.
Yeah, I know. I've taken one or two of those for a wrap and had a bit of a look around. It's the same size as my 159, so I don't, with a boot and those sort of things. In the UK, when I was over there a year or two ago, I had a P100D. So I'm a bit spoiled. I had that for a little while, and having that car just blows you out of the water.
Okay, so how about this? If we then go away from the slower version of the Model 3 and we go to the long range, it costs you just a bit over $80,000.
Yeah.
And that does 0 to 104.4 seconds.
Yeah.
Now, given that we've only got 3 more hours before the end of the show. We need to find out what it's going to take to get you into a car tonight.
Can I make a suggestion, Harold? I've got a good idea for you, if you'd like.
Well,
Yes, at work.
I'm going to preempt it. What
Okay.
I'm about to say is, not only can you get a car that does 0 to 104.4 seconds for $80,780 today. For how much is it, Russell?
For what? Sorry.
For the performance boost?
$3,000.
$3,000. So for, let's call it $83,780.
Yep.
We could get you into a car tonight for that will do 0 to 100 in about 3.9 seconds.
Yeah, which is about what the P100D was doing.
And to be fair to Tesla, because they do build awesome cars.
Oh yeah.
Their most awesome cars are the ones they build today and not the ones they built 4 years ago or 5 years ago, in fairness, because what Tesla does that's different to all other car manufacturers is continuous improvement. So if you actually spoke to the nice blokes at Tesla service, they could spend all day telling you that every time they have to change a part for a car, they often have to upgrade or retune the software to tell the computer which version of part they've just fitted, particularly if it's electronics like ultrasonic sensors and other things. So these cars are being continually improved. There is absolutely no doubt that dollar for dollar, if you put in $80,000 to a long range Model 3 with a performance boost, that is a far, far, far superior car than a 2016 pre-facelift P85D. And in fact, Rob Dean, who is our chair, he has a P85D, the exact same car that you're looking at. He will tell you all day, every day, just buy the new one. Just buy the new one.
I know. Before I wanted to get an S, I was looking at an Audi A5 because I could get the same form factor as the P100D in a regular car for dramatically cheaper. Great big hatch, layback seats, all that sort of stuff, supercharged V6, this sort of thing. The size of the car was what appealed to me. The 159 that I have now, I'm finding it just a bit too small and I want a hatch. And
I can help you out, Mike, if you have another plan maybe.
Yeah.
So at the moment, the factories in the US are focusing on making particular versions of cars, but in the near future, they're going to start making Model S's again.
Yeah.
And what you might find is people who own current Model S's might actually be trading up to a new Model S.
Yeah.
So what you do is right now you buy a Model 3 and you use it for a couple of years. It will depreciate marginally, and then you sell it and you just pay an extra, I don't know, probably save a bit of money on the transfer, and then buy yourself a secondhand Model S in 2 years' time when they're available. Because right now you won't get one for a couple of years realistically.
An S, you mean?
Yeah, because no one's going to sell them. Like it's
and even if you do find one, you're just paying a huge premium in the current second-hand car market.
Yeah, I've noticed that at the moment. Yeah.
And that's likely to continue for at least another year with the chip shortage, etc.
No, you think so? You think I won't see too much of a fall off in price on the ones that are current, you mean?
Exactly.
So Mike, so you said you've taken a couple of 3s for a test drive.
Test drives, yeah. I mean, I've taken Richards for a run, and I've been down to Tesla and took one of them for a run. And yeah, I can understand the technology. I'm a tech, so technology and all that sort of stuff I'm not scared of it at all. And what I mean by that is that I don't need the latest and greatest to be happy either. The thing that interests me about a 216, for instance, other than the fact it's got a sunroof, and I like sunroofs, is that the
not all of them do, by the way, only some. So that was an option. That's an optional extra in the Model S.
You have to choose the car. Yeah.
Do you use the sunroof? Because we had a car with the sunroof, and I mean, the only time I used it is when I had something on the roof racks. And then I'd open it so I could see what's going on. But yeah, I rarely used it.
Yeah, it turns out that most of the cars that I've had, if not all of them, have had sunroofs by not necessarily a choice. They've just appealed to me. And so even the cars I've got now have sunroofs. And I enjoy the fact of opening the ceiling and that sort of thing. I do like that sort of thing.
Yeah,
So what I was saying before is that, you know, technology-wise, I don't want full autonomous driving. I'm very happy with freeway lane holding and what is it? Cruise control, adaptive cruise control, and those sort of things. Because I do the run up and down the freeway every other day.
I think you just froze.
We just lost Mike. Well, Mike's.
No, he's back.
He's back.
Sorry?
So, Mike, you just froze for a moment. So just repeat that last.
This it appears, I'm afraid.
Oh no, you got bad comms. Actually, Mike, while your internet is fixing itself because a couple of Starlinks have to fly in the right formation, might just introduce Colin. Welcome, Colin.
Thanks very much. My second appearance on the Top Users Group.
Apologies. Welcome back, Colin.
No worries. I guess my query, to a degree, is a bit of a downer in a way. Over the last couple of days, the charging system, and I should perhaps elaborate on this. This may not be a Tesla problem. I've got solar panels on the roof and a Zappi power distribution system, and that's worked really well up to this point in time. Very happy with it. However, in the last couple of days, the system has been tripping breakers, and in fact, the Zappi unit won't even power up, or would not even power up as of Monday of this week. Now, they've been I can't remember the name of the company that sells these things. The Zappi, I'll call them the Zappi mob. The Zappi mob have been very good. They've examined it under and replaced it under warranty, and that happened today. The guys put a new power distribution system on the wall, brand new, and lo and behold, the new system is also having problems charging the car. Now I can charge the car up with a 10 amp socket through the power cable supplied by Tesla.
Yep.
That works fine. But as soon as I go to a higher power, three-phase power supply to charge the car, all hell breaks loose, including, tripping 40 amp power supply breakers.
So first
I'm
question.
wondering really whether anybody else has had problems in this sort of area.
First question, Colin. Have you tried to take your car to any other Tesla destination charger? So which region of Perth are you in roughly? North, south, east, west?
No, Appledale, and
right.
The Zappi supplier mob man has asked me and teed up for me to go tomorrow morning to Osborne Park and just check out charging the car, with a different outlet, basically.
Yeah, so absolutely. So just simply take your car to anywhere where there is. Sorry, do you have a Type 2 to Type 2 cable?
No.
Okay, so in this, yeah, so in the screen of your car, which looks like this, when you see your map, what you do is you click on this lightning bolt.
Yep.
And that will show you where the nearby chargers are. So you can then go to any of these locations that are nearby. So for instance, to you, I know there's one at the Riverton Shopping Centre. There are two destination chargers.
Yep.
And you could certainly plug in there just to test to make sure your car is not the source of the problem.
Yeah.
So, for instance, I do know that the Riverton shopping centre have three-phase HPWCs, the Tesla high power wall connectors. So there is the slimmest of possibility that there could be an issue with your car. It's very unlikely, but it's not impossible. So by all means, do that.
We've already now got 2 of these zappy things that are giving problems. One theoretically brand new out of the box.
Yes, but yeah. So
there's charging the car up at a new at a different point is the next step, and that's arranged.
Yeah, of course. So so that's just basic fault finding is just to eliminate any possibility that your car could be the source of that issue. And it's unlikely, but it's possible. It's certainly plausible that it could be. I mean, I've personally had an onboard charger fail, and my car's a Model X, so it's completely different to your Model 3, or the charger is. But
mine's a Model X.
So it's a Model X.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Right. Cool. All right. So, so that is a possibility. How old's your X, Colin?
February this year.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, well, so it's super young. So, yeah, it's not terribly likely, but it's possible that there could be a problem with the onboard charger. So, just taking it to any Tesla destination charger will quickly eliminate it as a problem.
Yeah.
Now, so if, for instance, if you take it to, say, Riverton shops and you plug it in, and it stops charging, then just go to the shopping centre management and just ask them to reset the circuit breaker. And then you can just take it to Tesla and tell them what's happened, and they will, if it's a fault, they will replace the onboard charger, obviously under warranty.
Yep. Yep.
But it's
other than that, no problems.
Fantastic. Cool.
Thanks for those thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. In fact, I'll just put my number in chat. Just give me a buzz in any case. Colin, can you see that on the chat?
I can indeed.
Because I've had some experience with something that you've gone through. So just give me a buzz tomorrow.
Yep.
Cool. So has anyone else got any questions?
I saw something about the RAC, Carmen, offering better insurance for Tesla or for EV owners. Did you see that, Pete?
No. Are you just teasing Carmen now?
No. Normally I'd start up with something, a bit of tractor action or something, but no, not. I did see something about RAC jumping on board with Tesla or with Tesla owners or something. So I don't know. I saw something on Facebook. It was just a glimpse. I wasn't sure what that was about, but no, I'm not.
Maybe they're making amends. I sent a letter addressed to the CEO.
Of the company that you're with now, or?
No, just telling them that they were not helpful, they were misleading, and they didn't. Their officers did not represent them well and lost a customer.
There you go.
I did the same, Carmen. I replied to RAC to the CEO, but he never got it. A woman rang me and I said, "Oh, you're the CEO," and she said, "No, I've just got the letter. The CEO will never see it." Okay. And I got a very poor response from her, and it never got followed up. So I had to make a claim on something entirely different about 4 weeks ago, and the girl was fabulous. And I said, "Oh, you should be in sales," and she said, "No, I left there. They're terrible."
Yeah.
But she actually chased up my letter and said they will contact me. Well, she was expecting a baby soon, and she left the next week for on leave, which is fine. But nothing happened once she left.
Well,
So
what
the-
they did
the
to me
insurance
is
side is terrible.
they sent me an application form to file a formal complaint.
That was
Yeah, you
just a
should do that.
bureaucratic exercise. I got the same rubbish. It didn't do
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, no, I just left it. I just said, I've been able to not only obtain full insurance, but they are prepared to replace a brand new car exactly as I have if there is an accident within 2 years and it's a write-off. And I have paid $1,000 less than you quoted.
Yeah, well, I think the RAC should be absolutely fabulous. They've got the potential to be very good. It just, the insurance
100%.
team's been replaced and they're, I say bloody hopeless, but that
No,
underestimates
I
how
think
bad
there
they
is a
are.
new sales team in there and they're out to prove something.
They're
And
a disgrace
because
to
I've
the
gone through
organisation.
different areas and I always end up with the same person. And she
Yeah.
knows me now and she just says, so what do you want?
No, there's some fabulous people in there and their service can be great, but the
Yes.
insurance side of it needs
Well, I've
drastic
been
action.
with them for something like 20 years previously, and they were fine. But there is, I think the person in charge, the supervisor in charge of sales, is out to prove that she can do something. And it's always the same person. So I've said, look, don't worry, I'm insured, just cancel my policy. I still have my home with them. So hopefully I don't have to claim on it because I don't like my chances.
Well, we
But,
scrapped the home insurance because of them, but NRMA's moved into the district. It'd be interesting to see what they're like. But it's a shame not to use RAC because they're
Yes.
our club.
Yes.
And I'd like to support them to the hilt, but
Yes.
their insurance
Well,
side
I
is terrible.
tried. Yeah.
I think somebody should maybe contact them on behalf of the club and see if they can start looking at the members from the club side of things at a better rate. I don't know. There's a lot
Well,
of
I think
members
that's
that belong to
something
this
that
club.
Yeah, I
So-
think that needs to be done from the club.
Yeah.
Because we should be supporting them really. And I would if I could. But the actual claims team are fabulous.
Yes.
And the
I
people
haven't
who
had
come
any
out for
problem
roadside are
before
good. All the others are good. It's just this one section that's.
Yes.
And I've just filled in another survey for them. They sent me one of my input. Well, I really laid it on the line to them because I want to support them. But I've lost my house insurance with them. They're just a joke there. And they very nearly lost my car insurance, which was 30th September. I very nearly pulled that because every day I rang, I got a different price and I couldn't get any standard replies.
No, that's their strategic way of answering. I've done the same. I thought it was just one person. So I thought if I ring again, I might get someone else. I do that with Qantas when I'm trying to get a frequent flyer booking and it works every time. But it didn't work with RAC. It's the same person.
And I originally went back to them because one of the sales guys from insurance rang me and he was fabulous. And that's the first year, I think. And well, that wasn't even with the Tesla, it was pre-Tesla. So I went back to them and they were very good. But then, I don't know, all the sales team got replaced, they told me. And since that's happened, they're a disaster.
Yes, I agree with you.
So that's my beef for the day.
Good work, Peter.
Speaking of beefs, and a big shout out to you, Paul. I'm just trying to bring up.
Oh, hang on, Nigel.
Yes.
Behind you, there's a guy who wants to return his car, mate. You're at work at the moment?
Yeah.
He's been waiting to return his car, buddy. You want to just sort him out or what? Huh?
Needs
Show him
to
where to
plug
park
in.
it, Nigel. No?
Said go long, Nige, go long.
Let's go.
Oh, a little touchy.
I'm just going to briefly bring up a frustrate. Oh, actually, just a quick question to Paul. You put an awesome comment on our last week's YouTube video. Did you delete that, or is it just?
No, I saved it. It was there.
No,
refreshed
cool.
the screen and it went.
Okay, so I actually got the email, and I'll briefly flash it up, which was this. And this is the comment that Paul put up. But what I'll actually do is I'll let Paul actually describe what is in it. And yeah, I really appreciate the comment, Paul. And
you can add it back in if you want to.
I think the algorithm, it must have deemed it too long to play, because frustratingly, I can see there's a single comment and I try and click on it and it just doesn't show. So for everyone else in the room and also watching later, oh, well, Paul, you can tell a story.
Yeah, well,
tell us what happened last week.
I was into about the third hour of the YouTube from the 20th, and
did you?
Russell,
were you in a catatonic state at the time?
no, I was still awake and listening. Actually,
that's number one in Guantanamo Bay at the moment. It's on to number one.
Because Russell made a comment about his Synergy account reverting to Debs.
Yes.
When he
I did follow that up this week as well, so I can add to that after you finish.
Okay, and I thought, what's going on here? So I checked my electricity account. Same thing had happened, just in the last week or so before that. So I rang up Synergy and asked what was going on, and they said, first the response was, "Yeah, just that's what happens." And I went, "Hey, no. This is not a part of the agreement that happens. I didn't sign up for it. Show me on the documentation where changing to an EV tariff will change my rate from REBS to DEBS on for my solar panel feed-in tariff." And they ummed and ahed a bit and bumped around and originally said no. And then they said a story about when Western Power upgrade your meters to smart meters and things, the same thing will happen. I said, I don't think so. Then I said, I'm happy to go to the Water and Energy Ombudsman to push this through. I'm not happy about it. They ended up coming back with an offer too, because as part of the DEBS conversion, you also get charged a DEBS application fee of $19, something or other. They said, I will reimburse your DEBS application fee. How about that? I went, no, I want the whole thing reversed. Oh, we can't reverse it. It's not possible. The rate's not available anymore. So I don't care. I want it reversed. And then he went away for about 5 minutes and said, we'll reverse it.
Oh, well,
Funny
I
that.
did the same thing and they credited me $500.
Wow.
There you go.
So
Depends who you talk to.
what we're
So
doing.
Russell? Robin Russell.
Well,
Sorry?
yeah, mine got changed back, and they also are going to give me a credit for the amount that I was less better
Yes.
off as well.
Yeah. That old chestnut.
So what we're doing as a club is we're going to write to Synergy. I've just had to wait for the right person to get off leave for that to happen, because I will write an email to all members that basically just has a heads up to have a look at your bill in case you've applied for the EV tariff. And apologies for anyone that's not aware of the tariff. I'll explain that in a moment of what the tariff is, because it's a great deal. But anyway, I figure the most efficient thing to do is to make sure that Synergy is aware of it and ask them to look back to all the accounts to make sure that that mistake gets unwound without members of the public having to put their hand up to say claim it. So we want them to sort their stuff out, preferably. And if that's not possible, then obviously we'll send up an email to everyone and also put it on Facebook and any other media that we can find. So for those that aren't aware of the Synergy EV tariff, if you are on a standard A1 electricity tariff, which is approximately 29 cents per kilowatt hour, roughly, and if you're on a standard, the old-fashioned, well, it doesn't actually matter which solar tariff you're on, actually, feed-in tariff. What the Synergy EV tariff offers is if you have an electric vehicle registered in your name, as opposed to, say, a business name, they'll offer that your entire house can consume electricity from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. at a 30% discount, which is approximately 20 or 21 cents per kilowatt hour. So it's a great deal, and it has no other stings in the tail, such as greater charges during peak hours or other things. So it really is a good deal. If you want to do that, take that up, just Google Synergy EV tariff. Notwithstanding the problems that obviously many of us have had with having their EV feed-in tariff inadvertently and inappropriately converted to a less favourable scheme.
My guess is that if the meter gets reprogrammed, there's an algorithm that just automatically dumps you out of the REVS scheme and dumps you into DEBS.
On the presumption that that's because
Knock on the door when you
was
come back in.
presumably just added, and that was why the meter was reprogrammed in the first place.
Yes. Yeah.
But they also charge for that new meter, and I had mine changed previously, and they still charged. And I got the impression that they just do it as a standard. They just add everything on. If you don't argue, if you don't say anything, it stands. If for the few that complain, they just fix it.
Yeah. Well, they are doing a good job, Synergy, since they've changed the new management have come over from Crown. So basically Crown management at Synergy now. So they've got some really good policies coming up soon. Get on board with them. They're doing a great job.
Yeah, so our money will be clean now.
They're offering a lot of good services.
Or just leave the bags of money in the meter box now.
It's a double power deals. And speaking of things coming, the company that you insured with, the guy, I noticed the CEO was on the news today. Yesterday, he, I believe he was arrested, and he actually snuck out on a flight out of Bankstown Airport today.
No, that wasn't him.
Night.
I read about him.
Oh, I thought that was him. I thought he was the CEO of the company.
No,
it's
he
not the same
wasn't.
one? Oh, okay. I thought it was him. I wasn't sure. I thought he might be just setting up a new office somewhere.
I think we should predicate that with the word allegedly.
Allegedly. Definitely allegedly. Yeah. 100%.
Now speaking of allegedly, someone allegedly has come to a conclusion about the way that Tesla's autopilot now behaves with auto parking. This is someone I've never seen before, some stranger. I think he thinks he's ahead of something. I'm not quite sure what this is. Let's have a quick look.
G'day, my name is Pete. You're watching Ahead of the Curve. What I'm going to try and demonstrate today is a new feature that I've noticed creep into the latest free over-the-air software update. So I'm operating on 2021.36.5 version, and I've noticed that the car can now park itself, seemingly using nothing more than just the car's 8 outside cameras. So we know the Teslas previously have been able to park themselves in a parallel situation, and the car used to do so pretty much as good in as little time as an average driver. It was, virtually perfect. We also know that the car could perpendicularly park itself, but it required a car on each side of the empty parking bay, or at least the car on one side and a curb on the other side. Now I've noticed the car can park itself without any curbs, any cars, or maybe one car on one side of the bay and nothing on the other side. So presumably it's using nothing more than just the 8 outside cameras of the car. So enjoy and see if we can get a successful demonstration. So I'll just adjust this camera a little bit. Okay.
Is this as painful for you guys to watch as it is for me, or?
Screen there.
I think it's quite quick, mate.
I don't know about ahead of the curve, aren't you? Just round the bend.
Spot here. Now I've only just come out of a parking spot, so I don't know if it's going to work here, but we'll give it a shot. So I'm just going past some empty parking spots, come to a stop, put it into reverse. Oh, great, it's coming up. So here we go, and it's trying to take us not to the one next to the car, but to the parking bay next to the next one. So yes, it's probably going to have to go forward to adjust. And there's a car coming out of that other parking bay, so let's see what it does, how it behaves with the other car coming past. I haven't touched the brake yet. Okay, it's going in reverse. That car's going past, no problems. And look at that. Perfect.
You do it, Pete.
Nice work. A great new feature.
Wow, that's impressive.
It wasn't in the centre.
Oh, it was close enough. Wasn't too bad.
And it had to go forwards. That is not good.
No, it still,
He shows a bit later on.
yeah, it still takes longer than a human driver with a perpendicular parking. Parallel, it's, like I said, as good as a human driver. But
Oh, that was quick.
sound like a chipmunk.
I think you're on speed there.
Hey, Pete, did you give any shout outs to your wardrobe department, or is that all self-styled?
No, that's all self-styled. Can't you tell, Russ?
Hair and makeup's a little bit down these days. A little bit of a shave could have been good, Pete. A little bit rusty.
Yeah, and you needed to edit the video a bit rather than, oh, I'll just move the camera around. That needed to be cut out.
It's called grunge.
Yeah.
No, I hate editing. I'm no good at editing.
I've watched it twice. I think it's great, Pete. Good job.
Watched it twice. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You're a glutton for punishment.
I was actually thought it was good. Good, really good video.
What's the warning you got up there, Pete? Why did you have the exclamation mark?
Oh, good question. I didn't even notice that. Jeez, you've got
Russell's on fire these days. I tell you, Russell, you are stepping up on Wednesday nights. Yeah, your stock's going up like Tesla, my friend. Yeah, everybody. He's coming in as a dark horse and he's taken over.
That's a good question. I have no idea. It was probably that. Quite often when that comes up, it's usually when I've got it on autopilot on FSD, and I'm overriding it by having my foot on the accelerator. So there's a warning message that comes up and says it won't automatically brake because it can't, because I've got my foot on the accelerator. So, but that should have gone by the time I was in the car park. So, yeah, I'm not sure.
So the only time I've had that message has been when I've been driving outside the lanes for too long. It says, you know what, stuff you, I'm not going to let you get the auto assist to get back in the lane anymore. And you get exclamation mark come up the whole time saying that you've been a naughty boy and you can't drive the car properly. It wasn't to do with that at all?
No, pretty sure it was.
Yeah. Chris is going to say something. Here you go, Chris.
So talking about allegedly, allegedly, there's going to be a new supercharger in near Albany. I'm not sure whether you guys have seen it or aware, but it was on PlugShare recently, very briefly. I think they accidentally.
Not sure how genuine that is, Chris.
Yeah. So Chris, if you just jump off screen sharing for a moment, I'll just show everyone how to do this. And I think what Pete said is very sage, which is allegedly, and that is if you go to PlugShare, and we'll just quit out of there, and we go into settings, and notice how it says showing filters for Australia. So what you do is you change this to Austria, and then once it's changed, you set the filters for the wall Euro connector. And when you do that and zoom out, Oh, you also have to have coming soon and restricted, I think, as filters. But if you zoom out, you'll see Kendanup, and interestingly enough, you'll also see Kirrawee. And if we look at Kirrawee just briefly, this clearly is a supercharger site because there they are being built. They're not quite finished. And if you have a look at Yea, that also is under construction.
Wow.
Now, if we go across to Kendanup, oh, sorry, let's just have a quick look at Kirrawee. The wording says 2021, it's basically October, the 13th of October. This location will be updated as soon as we receive data from Tesla. We thank you for your patience. And that pin was posted on the 13th of October by a user who I forget who it was, but someone, Charles Gregory from Tasmania actually extracted who it was that placed that pin.
Yeah.
And then a different person placed a similar pin at Kendanup, whose wording says the same date and it says the same sort of thing. And that is at 42 Chevelle Road in Kendanup. And if you have a look closer at the map, Kendanup, that location is 3.3 kilometres away from the Albany Highway. So it's not terribly adverse. You know, we all expect a supercharger to be at Kojonup since there's one at Williams just up here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, up here. But there could be a plausible reason why you might put it, say, at Kendanup, if Tesla didn't intend on putting a supercharger in Albany anytime soon. So, because the distance between Williams and Kojonup is quite short. The big caveat is, as we all know, PlugShare is a social media platform, and anyone, including any of us, could click on that Kendanup pin and edit basically everything about it. You can edit its location, you can edit the address, you can edit the text, you can do whatever you like. So please don't drive down there, as I was contemplating doing, to see if there's something there, you know, if there's a conduit coming out of the ground. By the way, I actually did a Landgate search on that property, and well, I just Googled that property first, and interestingly enough, it sold in April this year, so that sort of piqued my interest. And then I thought, well, the next thing to do is do a property search. So please don't pay the $27 to Landgate, because I already have. And I did the search, and it was purchased by a gentleman in Mount Barker, not a company, not Tesla, not anything interesting. It's also zoned residential, and I've done extensive council searches. The council, for those who are interested, is the Plantagenet Shire of Plantagenet, something else. And I did searches. Frustratingly, all their council minutes are PDFs, but they've done them as images, not as text. So you can't do a text search such as supercharger, Tesla or EV or charging station or something. You've got to literally read the pages or the index.
You can actually convert them into something that you can search.
Yeah.
OCR. OCR, optical character recognition, to filter that through. That's right. But I did it the old-fashioned way, and there is no sign of any council. Now, if it's true that it's that address is residential, and I'm deadly certain that something. If Tesla wanted to place superchargers on a residential lot, you would need council approval of some sort, and it's just not there. So take it with a massive grain of salt. My little pet theory is that some of these pins people will place somewhere, and then when the supercharger actually turns up wherever that is, they just move the pin, edit the text, and they kind of feel warm and fuzzy about sort of having the pin there first. The other caveat is that I do remember now that the PlugShare account user name is Tesla Boy. So it's TESLA space BOI space 23. And that account from memory was created on the 7th of October this year. So it's a brand new account. So, yeah, Chris, it's interesting. It could be true, but I don't think it's at that address if that's what it is. And
But Chris, the short answer is it's bullshit. Okay,
Yeah.
just there you go. We'll just cut that 25 minutes out of that.
It's coming in 2 weeks.
It's coming in 2 weeks. Everyone knows that.
Okay, can I put something else out there? So allegedly, it's another one.
You and your allegedly. Hey, by the way, that 2-pack thing you did last week, fantastic, by the way. That was really good. I was very impressed by
Which
that.
one was that?
The paint touch up that Carmen, I believe she's did it. Did you do it, Carmen?
What's that?
Carmen's starting your 2-pack paint touch up that you.
Oh, 3-pack, 3.
Oh, sorry,
No,
3-pack.
I haven't. 3-pack.
no, Jared, isn't Tupac he's a rapper, isn't he?
He
Tupac?
was, yeah, correct. Yeah, he's not alive anymore. He got the
No, that's right.
It's 3 parts, but no, I've stuck with my nail polish. It works.
Oh.
I'm
well,
not
very
sure whether you
impressed,
guys seen
Carmen.
it. Have you guys seen this? Like apparently the new SR Plus coming out of the Shanghai factory is going to have another 10 kilowatt hour packs. They're going to go from 50 to 60.
Oh, who says this, Chris?
It's going from 55 to 60.
So I'll send you the link.
Yeah, but was this from Beta Prime?
No, this was from, hang on.
Because Beta
I'm
Prime,
surprised that you went on this, Russell. What's going on?
Yeah, well, the Beta Prime also said the Model Y is going to come out with 2 different size wheels, a 19 and a 20 size rim.
He's on it.
yeah, but that's
They
true,
also
Russell,
talked about-
because if you go to the Department of Transport Rover website, it does show all the wheel configurations, and what he said about the wheel configurations was actually correct. But
Yeah, okay.
what he said about the battery capacity in the Rover, I think it's called a type certification. They only define the capacity of the batteries in amp hours. And from memory, one of the capacities was 270 amp hours. And he had initially in his first tweet multiplied that by 400 volts because no, that's not quite right. It mustn't be 270, it must be something else. But
Yeah, he had to correct himself, right? Because it was.
well, yeah, because people replied and said, "No, mate, that's just not right." And then he adjusted his adjusted voltage down to 360 volts and come up with 82 kilowatt hours and something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, frustratingly, even though the amp hours is defined, very well defined, the voltage that represents, or that combines with that is undefined, and it still remains undefined. So I'd take it with a massive grain of salt. But yeah, go Chris, you were talking about, so this article was describing that they are upping the
Yes, I've
battery
posted the link in the chat is from Drive Tesla Canada website.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I think I'd recall that actually.
Sounds like bullshit to me.
That'd be good if it really is, but no.
Yeah. I know the new Nissan Leaf, the Twig, has got an extended battery pack.
It's
any info on that one?
But that said, though, isn't the new Model Y, the SR Plus Model Y, is going to come with like a 62.5 kilowatt hour battery pack? So,
oh, geez.
Well, put it this way: I think there is a. I thought in Europe they have a. Bjorn Nyland was testing one of. I thought that was a long range, and he had a
don't
nominal
have standard
full
range
pack.
in Europe, but
He
they
had a
don't have
nominal.
longer performance, right?
No, he had a nominal. No, he had a long range, and it was a nominal full pack of 74 kilowatt hours and a buffer of 3.3, I think. So, and he was a bit disappointed because it seemed a bit low. Now, it is plausible that Tesla may decide to bring out a larger battery pack for Australia, since we've got nowhere near the same fast DC charging infrastructure, and we've got much bigger distances, as a whole continent. So it's plausible, because bearing in mind that in China a few months ago, they had declared 5 different variants for the Model Y as an export product in the Chinese, to their regulators. So it is plausible that there are 5 different versions of battery pack, or at least trim configurations and/or battery packs. But I think, Jared, you'd mentioned the Nissan Leaf, which is a great segue to another.
Twig. The Twig.
Well, yeah, it's another warning which goes along like this.
It's the new model Twig. I think Russell's looking at it.
Oh, sorry, I got to up that volume, otherwise you won't be able to hear it.
Viewers are advised that this recording may contain references to Synergy, 2 Weeks, and Grimes. Anyone triggered by these or similar phrases should press pause and subscribe to the Nissan Leaf channel.
So please do that. I'm sure there is one. Hashtag Nissan Leaf. Otherwise, simply like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for this channel, being the Tokwa channel.
And go to patreon.com.
Patreon.com/Tokwa.
Yeah, there's 3 people there at the moment. We need a 4th.
Yes,
Is Richard Chapman online tonight? Richard, you there? Richard Chapman, are you there? Come in, Richard. What's going on there?
Oh, someone's broadcast.
Sorry, guys, that was me. I don't think it's working anyway.
What's going on there?
Sorry.
Richard.
Is Richard coming up? I've been
Richard
patiently
Chapman.
trying to wait.
Richard Chapman, where are you? Come in, Richard. Oh,
You just opening your OnlyFans account then, were you, mate?
How did you know? Are you the one that watches it?
You two are like brothers.
Here we go. I think it might work now. Here we go. Okay, if Ken's still there. So this is, I've highlighted the passage from the book. I found it. So it's from the book called Power Play, which is a documentary. And it says, in the front seat, a giant video screen replaced the center console. Instead of a radio with its usual knobs, there was a touch screen with the same functionality as the Apple iPhone that had been released less than 2 years earlier. Tesla's screen was unveiled a year before Apple would release its iPad. So,
wow. Good work, Pete.
No, I think we both.
Are you trying to say something back to Ken?
What's that?
Are you trying to say something back to Ken? Are you?
Yeah, is he still on?
Well,
are you trying
no,
to
he's not.
say-
I think I can adjudicate this. I reckon that Pete had a correct reference to incorrect material.
No, I think no.
I would put my money on
Kenny's
Pete.
right.
I'd put my money on Pete for the first 2 rounds at least. Pete would just take him out straight out. Ken's a floater, with those big cans on. He's a floater. Where Pete comes in hard and fast and quick,
Sting like a bee, fly like a
he
butterfly.
stings like a bee, and knocks it down, no? So yeah,
No,
definitely.
I think we're both right, because I think the key word there is unveiled. So Ken is right in that the iPad may have come out in 2010, but I remember the Model S got delayed by a couple of years. But when the Model S was unveiled, so not before it came out to market, but when it was unveiled with a giant touchscreen. And then the iPad came out, and then the Model S was the first deliveries began. So does that make sense?
Okay, so according to Wikipedia, iPad was released. I had it a moment ago, 2010, I thought.
I said it was first unveiled in January 2010.
Yes, and the first iPad was released on the 3rd of April, 2010.
Now have a look when the Model S was first unveiled, because
Nigel, is that when you bought your first iPad?
No, I'd had one 2 years before that.
It was introduced on the 22nd of June, 2012.
No, that was released, but it was unveiled on the 26th of March, 2009. So it was unveiled before
where does it say that?
iPad came out.
Does it say that?
No, I've just Googled it. It's not on that page. This is on...
Hang on. Model S was codenamed White Star before its release. It was officially announced on the 30th of June 2008. Oh, the prototype vehicle was displayed on the 26th of March 2009.
Exactly.
You going to bed, huh?
Oh, that's it.
So it was unveiled before, but then they had problems with production, a bit like they had with the Model 3, and it got delayed. Some people asked for their money back, and then they increased the price by quite a bit. And yeah, it was delayed by more than a year before it actually came out, but
yeah,
close to 2 years.
I think they're waiting for the iPads to release so they can stick them on the front of the car.
So I think we're both right. I think Ken's right in that he's right when they were first released, but Tesla had the idea first, is basically.
And it was a touchscreen, so that depends on whether NVIDIA had that ready.
Off.
I've got a question for you, Harold.
Yes.
So this might be something for Chris as well. I think I commented on your post earlier this week about version 36.5.5, not having the ability to set departure times and also set charging times. Has anyone else had that issues with other cars, not just the 3, or?
So can I just give an overview of my issue with it? So I'm on the EV plan, obviously. So I charge my car after 11 p.m. to obviously take advantage of the cheaper rate. So I've always had my car set on scheduled charging for 11 p.m. However, I got the new firmware update yesterday. And then after I noticed once the car was obviously finished upgrading the firmware, I noticed that it had gone to departure charging again. So I thought that was a bit weird. So I just set it back to 11 p.m. And then I had to play with the app, and I noticed that obviously with the new firmware on the app, you can schedule your charging through the app. But I noticed that after trying to change the time on the app, it would only accept 12 a.m. You couldn't change it to any other time. And then after I went back to the car, after playing with the app, it had reset back to departure settings. So I've lost my 11 p.m. setting again. And it goes backwards and forwards. So every time I touch that setting, it goes back to departure. So I can't actually touch that anymore. Otherwise, the car won't charge at the scheduled time.
Yeah, mine does the same thing too.
Yeah.
Exact same. I'm hoping they're going to release an update to fix it.
I've just got the new one, 36.5.5.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't have downloaded it, mate. Don't put it on. It doesn't work properly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the one that we're having problems with.
Yeah, the 36.5 works fine, but 36.5.5 doesn't.
Oh.
Okay, well, I'll just turn it off. Don't worry about it.
Mine on.
I can show you a demo on my phone if you want to see. To help.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh.
Do you want to see it or not really?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, hang on. Let me just turn my screen fuzz off. Hang on a second.
You're wearing clothes though, yeah?
Oh, I'll take them off if you like.
No, I'm just. I mean, Chris is in his car driving, so just to be
All right,
careful.
so on there you can see that the I'll try again. Focus. Oh, can you see the clock or not?
Departure, presentation, off-peak charge. Yep.
Yeah.
So that time there, if I try to change that from 11 o'clock to whatever o'clock, you press it, it changes, and then it just changes back. So it won't hold. It won't hold a time.
Have you reported that?
I don't know how.
In the app, can't you report that to Tesla service?
Potentially. So it happens on the preconditioning departure and also on the charge. So if you set your charge time, it defaults to 12 o'clock. You change it to like 5 o'clock or whatever, and it'll just spit back to 12 again. So if you are using that functionality, it's probably best not to update to the newer version if you do need that as a critical function. But if you're not super concerned about that functionality, then you can probably just do it anyway, I would think. I haven't noticed anything else wrong, but
What's the other update? What else is on that update?
it's just the update to do with being able to change the amperage from your mobile phone.
Oh, okay.
The worst part is it overrides the setting in the car. So I have to manually go and set it back to 11 p.m. every single time. So yeah.
And then you can't touch your phone, otherwise it resets it again. So you got to ignore it essentially. You can't check how much charge is in or whatever.
Okay.
So just out of curiosity, Chris, have you got a Android or an iPhone?
Android, so it's a Samsung.
Yeah, same with me. So I'm not sure whether other people with an iPhone have the same issue or whether it's purely related to our.
Not the iPhone. iPhones are good. There's no issues with those.
You know, you haven't even done it yet. What are you talking about?
No. I can just tell. I can just. Apple stuff's pretty.
I'll go check.
I know there's a new app to protect upgrade with your wheels in Mandra for Alex. Apparently, I'm just saying that it protects your wheels in Mandra so they don't get stolen. Apparently, you heard about that app or what? So
no, I haven't heard about that app. Do you go on?
Oh, okay. Apparently, it's a new upgrade. So Tesla are bringing it out for people that live in Mandra to protect your wheels. I don't know.
Hey Chris, have you got the widget installed like as on your screen as well on your phone?
I do.
I'm not sure whether if we remove the widget, maybe it might do something different, but because that's the only thing I've done since then is put the widget on. I don't know if that's affected it or not. I guess it's worth trying. It'll take a minute to take it off, wouldn't I suppose? But
all right, well, let us know.
Yeah, I'll give that a go now. But yeah, I guess all we can do, I suppose, is put a comment on the app or something. I don't know how to.
But obviously, there's a lot of people with the same issue, yeah.
Well, you lodge a
reply.
service request through the Tesla app.
Yeah, through Tesla app, just lodge a complaint.
I'm surprised they haven't tested that, to be honest. Like, considering they're meant to be a software company, that's a massive bug.
Yeah. And from looking at Teslafy, it looks like Australia is the only place really that's receiving 5.5 at the moment.
That's because we're more intelligent and we're all vaccinated. That's the main reason, I think. So
maybe they're trying to piss us off or something. Who knows?
That's it. That's exactly what it is.
It's just sick and tired of us whinging and whining about the Model Y not being available for order.
Still coming 2 weeks.
Removing the widget doesn't do anything, Chris. Still stuffs it up.
Okay.
So you're going to say something, Alex?
Yes, I've got mine set up because I've got solar now installed.
Get with the times, man.
I know, right?
Jesus. You're in Mandra. You have a telephone soon. What's going on? Hey?
Anyway, so I got mine set up through the app. Just charge at about 12 o'clock midday when my solar bumps up to full power. So that has worked, but I've just had to do it a couple of times for it to.
Is that with a Zappy?
No, I'm actually thinking about getting a Zappy or a charger. Shout out to Empower, by the way. They're fabulous.
We love the Empower boys.
Yeah, they're good.
That should get you another 20% off, Chris. Alex?
That should.
Did you say Empower, did you? Empower. Yeah, right.
Empower Solar.
Yeah, right. Should get you a little bit more off. Don. His guy's name's Don, isn't he?
Don,
yes, yeah. Great man.
I thought Don was a brand of salami. Isn't that
good?
That's his side business. That's his.
Right.
He's running that on the weekends.
Don is good. Right.
Don is good. Yes, that's him. Apparently, he's got good salami, big long salami, good stuff. Salami. He's very, very good. Don's very good.
My second thing was a bit of a good news story, I suppose. One of our friends has a son who is obsessed with Teslas. I think, like someone said before, the kids love them. And for his birthday a couple of years ago, they actually organised to pick him up from his school in a Tesla, and he lost his shit. Anyway, they found out that we had one, and it was his birthday, and all he wanted for his birthday was to see if he could fit inside a frunk of a Model 3. So we drove around and managed to open the frunk, and he climbed in, and we shut the boot on him, and he loved it. So
he died that day, did he, from suffocation, of course? But he had a good time.
Yeah, so you can fit a kid in there, which is, I don't know, something, I suppose. And the emergency button does work from the inside too when it is closed. So,
Peter, have you done the front yet? The light? Have you done the?
I haven't yet. No,
I reckon that's cool. That light.
Definitely want to do it. That looked awesome.
Yeah, I ordered mine last week.
Dr. Cooper.
Sorry, Alex.
I said thank you, Richard. Richard
Oh
Cooper.
yeah, it's up there. Where is it?
Doc Dick.
That's on the golf course today.
The doctor's not in the house at the moment.
No, he's definitely somewhere.
But actually, in his absence, he did prepare a video, which I'll spoil up while you just talk amongst yourselves, waxing lyrical about the Dr. Dick. And make sure you don't say that backwards, because it would just be strange.
You get too far away from it. Why in Australia don't we call them fruits instead of, like a boot? Call it a fruit instead of the American.
Sounds stupid, probably.
Yeah, it sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Basically, because it sounds stupid.
We could explain that in 25 minutes in a different way, though, couldn't we?
It's going to fill some space.
We could break that down. Definitely break that down to something better.
Yes, please, Mike.
Pete, where are you on that one, Pete? He's fallen asleep already. Oh God!
Oh, you just caught him. You caught him.
Yeah, I thought he was a little nod off.
So, sorry, I heard my name mentioned in vain. Sorry, no, I missed all that.
Talking about
you asked me a question or something.
No, yes, you just passed out for a moment there, Pete. We were worried about you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, no.
Yep.
I was just texting Ken. He's arguing with me.
Oh no! Don't argue with an IT man. That's because if you do that, then he'll tell you to SH, and then that will hit the fan. So this video that the Dr. Dick had, he had mentioned last week about the brake fluid, or maybe it was a week before, the brake fluid tester that he got from AliExpress, and this is a little video demonstrating him using it quite eloquently. So we'll just spool this up now. It's upside down, Richard. Oh, you turned it on.
Like a pen.
It's like a pen, you just stick it in. And what's a bit ambiguous is I don't actually know which light is on. So obviously it's okay if the moisture level is less than 1% or say 2%, and it's probably bad if it's 3 or more than 4. But I can't quite tell which LED's lit. So I'm sorry, Richard, but that's a bit of an
It's like the
epic
first
fail.
one.
Well, it could be the first one, but then surely you should get what this one should be lit too,
Yeah.
because the first one was just the battery. See, if you go back, that's actually just a battery check, or 0%. Maybe it's 0.
Well, there's another $4 from AliExpress.
Yeah. He did also say after that, he said they're having a girl, so that's good as well.
Oh, Russell.
Russell's on fire, man, I tell you. He's smoking all of us tonight, I tell you. He's out of control. He's probably spent all week for tonight, I tell you.
Yeah, I've got the notes down here. I just can't see them.
He's definitely going to pull production team, I tell you.
If only that was true. If only that was true, Jared. One day this will actually be a semi-professional operation. It's all good. Actually, something that I just saw to the right of me is, and we're getting a bit more pro on this, is this. Tesla's share price right now is $1,061.19.
Yeah.
Up
You know, that means
4.2%.
You know, that means Pete can extend the doghouse and really revamp it all.
He can afford to put aircon.
He can put aircon in the doghouse. He can put a spa in. He's going to go full on now. Yeah.
Pimp it up.
Pick up that whole, yeah, exactly.
No, pimp it up.
Pimp it up, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Pimp it right up.
He can vinyl wrap the doghouse.
Who saw that coming, eh? Jesus Christ, that's amazing.
It is $1 trillion. I mean, like I said before, many of us were in disbelief of the initial. What is that called? I got to Google that. Can someone Google that, please, while I'm dribbling on? It was the something compensation plan. Is it the CEO compensation plan or the Elon Musk
compensation plan? Something
Something like that. And it was so outlandish in its scope, like, you know, to say that Tesla would be at 640 or 660 billion dollars, because each tranche was another 60 billion that was added on the market cap. So I think at the time the market cap was pegged at 60 billion. So for every 60 billion that it increased, Elon Musk got an extra 2%. So that if it went to a 10 bagger, he would get an additional 20% of the company. And some people were sort of indignant, going, oh, that would just be outrageous that Elon Musk would get so much money. And it's like, yeah, but that's only if the company succeeds. And if it doesn't succeed, he gets nothing. And
Yeah, it said it's called a compensation agreement, and it's paid out in 12 tranches.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he hit the first one in January of 2020. The first of the 12 tranches,
which is $50 million or something.
And now he's over 70% of those 12 tranches have been satisfied.
And Tesla only has $300 million left, I think, to have to pay Elon Musk. Which that was some other news too. I think.
Are you just giving your credit card or your Harold then to finish that off?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
What it actually means, though, Harold, is that Elon Musk now has to have 12 bodyguards instead of 8. That's what it actually means, to be honest with you. So, you know, it's not like he can go anywhere without, you know, a serious security team around him, because, you know, anyone that grabbed him, you know, there's a fair bit of money there.
Well, true. True. But you know what? I think that many of us in this room probably need lots of bodyguards just because we're so well known and respected in the media industry. And you know, it won't be long before we'll have silver and gold YouTube trophies behind us in our backgrounds.
Especially
Elon,
get that new contract at Quantico Bay.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So here's another bit of info. The total package could end up being worth as much as 55.8 billion to Musk.
Yeah. And Tim Cook wouldn't take Elon's call.
Yeah.
When
And if that's not the most expensive missed call ever, I don't know what is.
Well, you know, I think Elon would be giving Tim Cook the initial thank you in English. You know, I mean, Tim Cook just did get $10 million the other day. That's pretty good. I think it's, you know, wasn't his bonus 10 million? If I'm all right. His 10-year bonus was 10 million, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, that probably
Oh
sounds.
no, it was 700 million. Sorry, it was 700 million. And I was thinking, well, that's what they, you know, Elon probably spent for lunch that day when they did really well the car order sale. You know, so.
Russell.
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
I updated, and the scheduled departure does stay at whatever you said it.
Oh,
That's with an
iPhones.
Oh, good
I've
work,
got an
Carmen.
iPhone.
Yeah. Okay.
Can
All
you
right.
see?
No, oh yeah, we can see a fish. No, yeah. Oh yes, sort of. Yes, there is. Yeah.
Turn a bit to the right, Carmen. Other way. Oh.
Yeah, the other right.
That's it. There you go. So it works.
Yeah.
So it must be just Samsung users. Russell?
Yeah, must be.
just
Just
must
to
be a
put, I don't know
Samsung.
if people have heard this like comparison before, but the difference between like a million and a billion, when you think of the scale of it, when you're talking about these numbers, a million seconds is like 11.5 days. A billion seconds is 31.5 years. So when you're saying someone's making $1 million compared to $1 billion, like just in that relative scale, like to put in proportion, it's a significant more amount of money. So if something 55 billion, like that's, I can't even fathom how much money that is. It's ridiculous. And then for the company with $1 trillion, like what even is that? That's, I mean,
well,
like,
it's $1 million. It's
yeah, I know, but like, what's $1 trillion?
Not going to buy you. Not going to be happy.
Yes, that's right.
Not going to be happy. It's horrible.
Well, put it this way: we could look.
Elon's still going to work, and he's the richest man in the world, so he's happy.
Well, I know someone that could have bought a certain amount of Tesla shares that today would be worth about $500 million.
Oh.
In fact, Pete and I both know someone that could have done that. And you know, hindsight, Harry, it's a wonderful thing.
And it's not me.
No. And so, but the problem, imagine if you had
There's a doctor.
All the doctors in the house. So imagine if you had, you know, a ridiculous amount of money, like, you know, $500 million. You could still go to Tesla's website, which we're going to do right now, because this is a very important lesson for all of us thinking about having $500 million. And we could type in Tesla.com, right? And we could go, I really want to buy Model Y because I can afford it. And Tesla just says, stay updated. So
then you buy the factory. Why are you waiting?
Yeah, but then Tesla will say, no worries, we'll build a factory for $500 million and we'll have it finished in 2 years. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
So
Can you
it's
just
not all
move
about
to
the
the
money.
country? Aren't they delivering in UK at the moment? What's the wait time in UK?
So
2 weeks.
From memory, if you get the long, they've only got 2 variants, the performance and the long range. The long range is due for delivery at the start of 2022, and the performance is in the middle of 2022.
Which is quite surprising because usually the performance comes first.
Yeah,
So-
it's very strange, Pete, because I just wonder quietly whether Tesla intends, because at the moment, if you get a performance 3 or a long range 3, they are mechanically identical except for the brakes,
Suspension, pedals, and
Oh,
spoiler.
and the suspension and the pedals are, that's just
Wheels.
fines. And suspension setting or coil springs, whatever.
And the spoiler, don't forget the spoiler.
And the and the spoiler that unfortunately Tesla, which pro tip to Elon, which is who watches this all the time, please make the diameter of the curve of your carbon fiber spoiler slightly less, like tighter. So that way the end bits, which always poke out, like who's got a performance 3 that has the carbon fiber spoiler on it? So Jared, Richard, and that'll do.
Damo will have one too soon.
I'll bet you all my Tesla shares that the end bits of your carbon fiber spoiler bit have got like a little gap on them, like they're coming apart, like it's actually pulling apart off the back of the boot. And that's because the double-sided tape they stick it on, the carbon fiber's been built with a 2 larger diameter, so it's actually not tucking in, like it wants to pull away from the curve of the boot. So Tesla needs.
Not sure if that's with the Shanghai model though.
Ooh, I'm
pretty sure with the Shanghai model they fixed that, and there's a little guy that comes out at night and he gets out of the boot and he just fixes anything that's going wrong with it. Standard package for the performance.
Yes, there's little nano robots that come around and just
touch it all up.
Yeah.
And while we're being recorded, Harold meant to say all of his Tesla shares that he bought yesterday.
Yeah.
Because at this rate, you might lose all your shares there, Harold.
Yes, but they're down today.
Yeah.
Back up again.
Oh, they're not
Little
down,
bit.
Carmen.
That was yesterday, Carmen. They're
Is
down
it?
a little. They were up 5%.
Richard Cooper.
Yo.
Richard Cooper.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you. On what?
Apparently you're having a girl or something. Russell was saying you're having a girl.
Oh, I've had 3 of them. I don't want any more.
Well, apparently you're having another one after that little birth control test you did with your car. We saw it on YouTube.
Oh, right.
Oh.
No, we're due another boy. We've got 2 boys and 3 girls, so we need another boy.
One more boy. Okay. We couldn't work out which light was actually on.
Oh, 0%.
So how do you, on the stick, how do you know which ones?
There's 5 green lights, or the 3 greens, and then a couple of red, yellows or reds or something, and it was 0%. So, and I checked it. I got some racing brake fluid, and then I made it 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%. It was all very accurate. So, yeah. So the bottom is 0. Oh, that's 0. So you shove it in there, and it's still red 0. I thought, oh, maybe this is, see, the bottom one's the brightest.
Yeah, okay.
And then when you put it in affected brake fluid, it changes whether, so each 1% it went up one light more. So it worked really well. And that was about $4 or $5 on AliExpress.
So do you just keep changing the batteries? How long will that last for?
Oh, it's just a AAA battery. Just turn it on and turn it off.
You take it out night clubbing or
Oh, I haven't done it yet. I haven't had it that long.
the glow sticks going on? And the
They
rave
use,
party?
they use them at Optus Stadium, Jared, for the grand final. They couldn't get them to work.
Those tubes would have worked at the grand final, but the other ones that were at the grand final certainly didn't work, that's for sure. The 281 tubes that were there, I think 4 did, or maybe 5. So we don't talk about that, Russell. That wasn't me. That was definitely going to happen in 2 weeks.
Oh, well, Tesla's 1,043.28.
Oh, they've gone up.
Yes.
Cool.
What was it, like 3 weeks ago, 700 and something we were talking?
It was in a steady trading range of mid to high 700s.
Yeah.
For several weeks. And then it just blasted out. Well, at the earnings call, it went up to sort of the low 8s, and then
It was the Hertz announcement.
100,000 hertz.
Yeah.
it was, yep.
So
It was just amazing. That's.
Well, it's good because ARC went up as well. I got the newsletter from Kathy Wood. She sent a big newsletter straight away.
Well, see, one of Kathy Wood's, ironically, she is forced to probably sell roughly 10% of her Tesla holdings, because effectively Tesla went up 10% when the rest of the market stood still. And because she has rules in her funds that she can't hold more than, no single stock can represent more than 10% of a fund. So if Tesla goes up 10% and the rest of the market stands still, I think that roughly means that she needs to quit roughly 10%. So Pete, you were saying that the volume was quite high. I think it was 66 million shares.
It's gone up plus 30 now.
that's crazy.
1,048.71.
Yes, 1,048.
No, now it's 49.28.
Thanks, Carmen.
I'm watching.
No, actually, that's incorrect. That's completely wrong, and it's out of date because it's actually 1,050.32 cents. Which, to be honest, I could watch this all night because it certainly beats working. Oh no, it just slipped down. But
Pete's just cancel the spa. Cancel the spa, Pete. We're keeping the slippery slide though. We're going to keep the slippery slide. That's staying.
And the kegs.
And the kegs are staying. Kegs are staying. Kegs are in.
So since this is still Ask Us Anything until it's not, has anyone got a question?
You mean a real question?
Well, we can have
I've got a real question.
We can have, we can have metaphorical questions like.
Is Richard Chapman there? I'm looking for Richard Chapman. Come in, Richard.
Yeah, I think Richard's lurking. He might have fallen asleep. Possibly.
He was there before. I was going to ask him if Richard Chapman, come in. You there, Richard?
Come in, Richard. We need to get the EPIRB out.
Definitely need a EPIRB him.
Did you, Harold, did you get my text with the world's most important logos?
No. Was it a text or an email, Carmen?
I thought I sent it by text. I'll have a look.
What you mean today? Oh, no, hang on, sorry.
Yes,
the world's summarized in that chart below at 36 billion. Tesla is the 14th most valuable. That's not right. Is that right?
Yep.
But that doesn't make sense. What? Oh, you mean as a brand or as a company?
Yes, a brand. Yeah, there's a chart there.
Yeah, but Carmen, I've seen that, but I've just scratched my head a bit because I don't know how they've valued it. How do you?
It came from Kathy Wood.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what I'll do is just so we can argue this toss, I'll just save it to my computer, and then we'll bring it up so we can have a look at it. Just bear with me 2 moments. Richard, you haven't fallen asleep yet. I might just entertain.
He's getting close.
He's wavering.
He's getting very close. It was coming very close to the first place then. Going to pick up a lazy $50 off Russell because he always puts money on it as well for a sure thing. So
Richard, probably I've just got a little clip here that you might relate to in your younger years.
Last week.
Jared, you're my best mate.
You know that.
That actually says, that speaks volumes, Richard. Absolute volumes. This is something that you might be familiar with and that we all enjoyed earlier.
That was actually Richard playing piano.
Yeah, right. Not one of my favorites. Oh, yeah.
You're as cold as ice.
It doesn't get old, does it?
Nah. And she's still getting therapy too. She's still in therapy. It's going well apparently, and you know, that's definitely the classic. That one. That's my favourite video.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes,
I've been out on a date night with my lovely wife. That's why I'm late. And I've just heard my son's had a car accident. And it looks like he's totaled his Honda Jazz, but I think he's all right. So.
Oh, so he's a chip off the old block.
Yeah. So I smashed my car, but on the racetrack, not on the road.
So he's done you proud, Richard, that he's grown up to be just like you.
He's shortened a car like I have, yeah.
But seriously, he's obviously. Well, I hope and believe he's okay.
I'm waiting on a call from him. He seems to be all right, but he did set the airbag off on his Honda Jazz. So.
Oh, that'd be nice.
He might get some whiplash or something later on.
Yeah, don't know. So we'll see. But he sounded right when we rang him. But he's talking to the cops at the moment. So.
Yeah.
There's a very good reason why whatever he says to the cops should be kept rather short. But that's another video that I've seen that's really interesting. But that's for another day.
Absolutely.
I've got
Harold. Is there a sum I can do to find out, instead of putting my $90,000 into my Tesla, if I had put $90,000 in Tesla shares, what I could have bought by now?
Don't even go there. You'll be very, very sad.
So Russell, imagine this.
Imagine
if you had $200,000 back in 2011-ish, that would have bought you 33,000 Tesla shares, which today would be worth $50 million.
50 million?
$50 million.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks. Yeah, that's great.
So that's with $200,000. With $20,000 in 2011, that would be worth $5 million. Just pause on that for a moment, because for most Tesla owners, $20,000 would have been absolutely achievable in 2011 as a speculative.
All's done well.
You know.
That's why Pete doesn't shave, because he put that money into. Look, that's why he's got Tesla shares. Doesn't need to. He's got that.
Actually, no. Pete actually pays someone else to shave their own beards, so he doesn't have to.
That's exactly right.
It's just like I actually pay someone else to do the sleeping for me, so I don't have to.
You paid someone else to grow their hair too, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. because growing hair is so arduous to do. It's.
What's going on, Alex? You going to say something, or are you looking for change down the back of the couch or something? What's going on, Alex?
I was on mute, sorry. No, I was just typing. I was actually gonna go to bed. It's past my bedtime.
Oh, Alex, you don't need to go to bed. Just watch Tesla's share price. You can just watch it all night. It's
yeah. It's very addictive.
Oh,
it is.
It is going up. I'll give you a giant tip.
I'm just jumping and buy some now and just.
So where's the Apple share price comparatively?
Well,
$149.
Yes.
$149
for mine.
So if you bought Apple shares instead of the iPhone, you would have got about somewhere around 140, between 133 and 150 something shares, which would now be worth about $20,000 US. So if you bought Apple shares instead of the first iPhone.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I didn't buy enough, but I did buy some at $30.
Isn't Tim Cook the highest paid CEO in America at $270 million?
Well, not if you include Elon Musk now with
He
his.
doesn't get paid anything.
He just doesn't fill up. He gets t-shirts. And a car, maybe? You know.
Yeah, he gets a car. Gets a car.
Free charging.
And a special colour too, special coloured car.
Special crimson, deep crimson. Yeah, exactly. This is Carmen's image that she was talking about earlier. So the actual summarizes the chart. 36 billion Tesla is the 14th most valuable and fastest growing brand in the world.
Oh, what? How come Top was not on there?
Sorry?
How come Tokwa's not on there?
Samsung's still a monster.
Disney's still a monster.
Actually, Tokwa is the greatest trending brand. We're definitely trending in our direction.
Definitely.
Interesting about that chart. So if you were to recalculate that,
what's number 19?
By looking at the value of the brand and divided by the amount of money spent on advertising to create that value,
yes,
you'd probably get a Tesla would be at infinity.
Yes.
And yeah, I don't think pretty much all those brands have spent quite a bit on advertising to bring up their value.
Well, Nokia does, Coca-Cola does, Toyota, Mercedes, McDonald's,
Disney, BMW, Louis Vuitton,
Samsung does.
Yeah.
Google. Don't know about Instagram. Cisco does. Intel does. IBM does. Hermes does. Chanel. JP Morgan.
They advertise.
Yeah. Honda does. I don't know who SAP is.
That's a software.
Oh, okay, cool. Disney probably does. Apple certainly does. Yeah, so you're right. Tesla does zero formal advertising.
That they pay for, yeah.
Yeah, that they pay for.
It's awesome.
But yeah, I was looking at that chart as well, Carmen. I couldn't quite figure out how they came to the value of the brand, how they calculated the brand value.
I'll send you her report.
That Samsung is a monster, though. Samsung is an absolute. You can see why they're up there as a brand.
Yeah, that's right. Because Samsung, I mean, they're a huge chip fabricator. I think Apple actually uses
chip
Samsung.
builder. They build chips.
Yes,
They're chip manufacturer
as well.
So
they've got the biggest crane in a harbour crane in the world that they've built.
They actually they work for Gina Reinhardt, don't they? Don't they work in they run the mine site up there as well, Roy Hill?
Samsung?
Yeah.
Never heard of that one.
Not sure. I believe they make or have made a lot of Apple's components, like the screens. I think Samsung have done for years.
And are they doing some batteries for Tesla?
Oh,
Thought they were trying to do the solid state for.
You mean Panasonic are?
Toyota.
No. Panasonic and Cattle and LG. They've been long partners. Panasonic were the first, but I thought I heard somewhere that Samsung.
I thought they were in cahoots with Toyota trying to do the solid state.
Oh, that's Apple, isn't it? Apple's getting involved with Toyota on that one?
Tesla is in talks with Samsung to produce its next-gen full self-driving computer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a chips, not batteries. Yeah, chips. Yeah, sorry.
Toyota and Panasonic were in with the batteries with Tesla.
Yeah, no, that's right. It was the chips, not the batteries.
Yeah. Russell's just put up a West Australian article that Roy Hill settled $1 billion dispute with Samsung.
Yeah, it's probably cheaper to settle with them. You remember when Apple sued Samsung over the was one of the gestures that they did, and Samsung settled with Apple by paying them in 25-cent quarters, and they dumped it off in 6 dump trucks at the front of the CEO building, and basically tipped all the money onto the front of the lawn of Cupertino headquarters, and paid it in 25-cent pieces. I don't know what the fine was, millions of dollars, and they that's how they settled the bill.
The funny thing is, those two companies, they just line up all their patents and sue each other.
Yeah.
And sort of, I mean, the lawyers must love it, but
great money for them.
Normally you'd think if someone sued you, you just simply wouldn't deal with them again. But those big companies just get over it and go, well, that's just business. And
Now the Apple's on all the Samsung TVs.
Yes.
Apple TV is now embedded in the latest Samsung TVs.
Well, actually, speaking of, battles of patents and things, one great thing that Tesla has done is they have declared that all their patents are open for free licensing. So you might think, well, why bother doing a patent? But of course, Tesla do patents so as to defend their innovations against someone else claiming them and then making them exclusive. Whereas Tesla's Elon Musk and Tesla have stated that effectively virtually all of their patents are open for free use. And that
is it really free use though? There are some caveats though, aren't there?
I think all their motor technology, all their inverter technology, any patents around that, there was a caveat about.
I think they licensed the full self-driving.
But I think that was one where they would say, "Oh, see you, Carmen."
No, I was saying goodbye to Bradley.
Oh, sorry. All right. Goodbye, Bradley.
See you, Mike.
Hey, Bradley.
I mean, sorry, Mike. Sorry, no, sorry, Mike.
Sorry, Mike.
See you, Mike. Great to see you. Welcome back anytime.
Okay, yeah, no, you will be hearing more from me. I'm a geek, right into this stuff, so
look forward to it.
And been there some other time.
You're Richard's illegitimate son, is that right?
I showed you those 2 photos of my early Lotuses. Well, there's a picture, and Michael's the guy sitting next to one of them 35 years ago, I think it was.
Oh,
is it the one that was on fire, or
no? No, that's the one that was on fire.
So, Richard, your job is to tell Mike that he should buy your version of car and not a Model S. So just
he wants to get a sunroof, and he wants to not spend $1 million, but especially the sunroof and more room. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Just work on him quietly and report back to us later.
Yeah. Oh, he's motivated. Don't worry about that.
He is.
When he was 16, Michael built a Purvis Eureka from the ground up, and it was magnificent. That's the old flip top. Looks like a Ferrari, but it was a VW. Piece of crap, really. But
right. So you said when he was 16, all he could build was crap. That's really nice.
I married one of them.
It was very good. I was so impressed. Anyway, that's a long time ago.
All right. Well, it's well past Mike's bedtime because he needs to go to bed so he can wake up in the morning. But, yeah, seriously, thanks for joining us, Mike. I really appreciate it. And yeah, you're welcome back anytime at all.
Yes, indeed. Tremendous. Okay, I'll be in touch.
No worries. Cheers. Take care.
See you, Mike.
All righty. So any other questions, comments?
Just news from Jared.
I'm very impressed that Ken stayed longer than 40 minutes tonight. I thought that was good. Which is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Stop.
Right. As we go to the news, and we'll have a shout out to Damon, who watches us in Half Hour Slabs, Ashley, Hosni Mubarak, and many others. We'll just put you on pause for a moment while we get some special work done, and we'll be back shortly. Well, welcome back, Damon, and everyone else. That was, I think we only paused for about 10 seconds. We just had to have a collective cough, and now we're back.
And check the latest update.
Well, actually, the latest update was Tesla's share price quite recently has gone up to $1,067.
I've got a new Tesla update if you want, Harold. Hertz have just announced they're setting aside 50,000 Model 3s for Uber drivers.
Correct.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
I
great.
retweeted that before the show. It was Gary Black found the Bloomberg announcement. So yeah, what Uber's letting drivers do is rent the cars from Hertz to drive Uber. So they allow the Uber drivers to remove the capital cost associated with buying a car to Uber.
Wow.
Oh.
So is it a positive thing in the sense that aren't they really laying off half that purchase to Uber drivers? Are they concerned that they might not have retail customers for those cars, or?
No, I think it was always the plan.
I mean, do rental companies do that generally, or
No, it's a fairly new thing. Yeah.
The benefit I see, not in that in particular, but in the whole deal, is that from my understanding, rental car companies would sell their cars after about a year or so. So there's going to be an influx of secondhand EVs on the market for people to buy and get into the game as well. Yeah. So it should make it more achievable.
Absolutely.
And I guess one thing we don't know is perhaps Hertz have factored in that they can keep those cars for 2 years. So
yeah.
And halve, well, I wouldn't say halve their costs, but significantly reduce them.
It'll take at least 2 years to teach them how to use the door handles.
Yeah. Well, I noticed, I went onto the Tesla website to get seat covers, and I noticed that they make stickers that says open door to put over the little minus sign. But I decided to keep
Yeah, I'm talking about the external door handles.
Yeah.
Well, I actually met someone, a gentleman who had a Model 3 strictly as an Uber car at the Karrinyup supercharger, and he had in the fat part of the handle, he had push, so you push it in. And,
yeah. But that's a good move. Actually, if the Uber drivers use them, that's fantastic marketing and publicity.
Yes, because obviously many passengers will be in those cars and then enjoy them.
Yes.
And
it's all about bumps in seats.
I just put the link up, Harold, to the seat covers that Carmen just bought as well. For everyone who wanted to see the ones that Carmen has just picked up. I've just put a link for you, Harold, if you want to share that one.
What did you buy, Carmen? Some seat covers?
Seat covers. I bought
didn't know,
the leopard ones, or
did you use Harold's credit card, or what?
Everyone uses Harold's credit card.
Russell, I was about to screen share that, and then I saw it and I thought
Harold must get his credit card statement every month going, I can't remember ordering a hi-fi and a television system. Remember paying for that hotel accommodation? What was this one? Jeez.
Well, on that note, I'm saying good night.
No.
All right, good night, Carmen.
Good night, Carmen.
Have a good week.
You too. Yep. Thanks for coming. Look forward to seeing you. Oh, next week, before you go, next week, actually, we're going to have a casual meetup, so there'll be no ask us anything.
Meeting. Okay.
Yes.
Where is it?
Where it is.
You're not telling anyone. Not going to tell anyone. We're saying
no. Where it is a place that I'll decide between literally right now and sometime tomorrow when I send the email out.
Okay, cool.
So
it's not 2 weeks, Harold.
It'll be less than 2 weeks.
And everyone has to be there. Russell?
What was that? What?
Richard Foster, everyone has to be at the casual meetup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, Carmen. You go.
Okay. Good night. Bye.
I'll very briefly with gritted teeth. I think that's okay. But what Russell actually did put on, and I don't think I'm being inappropriate, was this.
Jesus. Is that your new seat cover, Richard Cooper?
No, no, mine. He doesn't have the.
He's not smiling. There's no teeth.
Yeah, and also he's got a shirt on. I mean, what's the point of that?
Yeah, exactly. It's just wrong, isn't it?
Well, it's a cover. It's a seat cover. He's been well covered. But yeah, actually, we might as well. I mean, this might be fun for people watching at home because they might watch this in a week and a half's time and go, "Well, of course it was going to be there because we've already been there." But I'm obviously, since I've got the onerous task of working out where to go next Wednesday, open to any suggestions. It's an evening, obviously. So
Malaga Tavern. It's got a Tesla charger.
Malaga. No,
You can all
it
fight over it.
The Malaga. Yeah.
No, that-
No,
you mean-
sorry, not Malaga. Sorry, the
Kewdale.
Kewdale Hotel.
Yeah, we've
sorry,
already been
Malaga.
there. Oh, no, have we?
It's got 2 Tesla chargers.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of the time we were there to meet up JP.
Yeah, no, that's right. And
Oh, that was a
no, I
drug
don't
deal, that was
think
a
we
drug
have.
George's trying to say something.
Yes, George.
Kewdale is not working at the moment.
Which one? Sorry, Kewdale.
Yeah.
Kewdale is broken.
Oh, right, really?
We'll go there and protest, George.
Yeah, we could do that.
Actually, we'll get one of those. We'll get one of those bricks with a nice note taped to it, and we'll throw that through.
I'm just going to have a quick look on Plug Share to see if the Kewdale Tavern.
Hang on, Harold. George's trying to say something.
They ordered new ones.
Okay,
They've ordered new ones.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, good.
Let me just have a quick look. I had to get
The
off.
only other place I can think of is maybe Russell's house.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
a supercharger put in. That's my pin I dropped the other day. I have to just move it to my house next week.
Jared's bringing over the lights.
Yeah, I'll bring
He's
over
going to
the lights.
invoice Russell.
He'll make it all happen. Definitely make it all happen. Chris can bring the 3-pack. We can just touch it up a little bit. That was the best thing you showed, that 3-pack paint, Chris. Well done. Very impressed. That touch up. And that's actually Tesla's colours.
They are Tesla's colours, yeah.
I know, that was cool. That was a really good idea.
Hey, Chris, have you still got it somewhere close? Are you
I'm
still
surprised
able
you didn't know about that, Richard.
Yeah, so I've got this silver metallic paint. So for anyone who wants to try it out, more than happy. I've still got plenty of it left. So
No, sorry. I mean, are you able to put it up, share your screen again?
where it is.
Because, yeah, I wanted to try out the black one.
Yeah, so it's just color and drive. Let me just get the URL. And there is actually a YouTube video. So if you click the order page, let me
And
just
colour spelled the American way, isn't it?
It is with no U.
Great eBay thing, Russell.
That was.
I'm not gonna-
I thought that's one that Richard had. That was Richard's version, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not going to put that one up because otherwise I'll be accused of being sexist. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's lovely.
I can imagine what it is.
Actually, sorry, I'm just going to just hang on. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. I don't know. I just said 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, go Russell. That was hilarious. Speak amongst yourselves.
Richard Chapman, you
I've got
there?
a quick question, actually.
Yes.
Last week I was whinging about not getting updates. So I finally got the update this week. Yesterday morning?
Yes. So what would you like to whinge about the update then, Barry?
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned because it's got this new set your charging rate in the app.
Yep.
But my charging rate is set by my charger, dependent on how much power is available from my solar. And I haven't had a chance to really try it yet, but I did plug it in briefly, and the app drops the charging rate down to 6 amps.
Yep.
Where my charger is capable of up to 18. And I wasn't sure whether that was because it was later in the day and the sun was getting down and there wasn't much power available, or was it the app overriding the charger?
Yeah. So what the app all the app can do, and actually the same thing happens if you sit in your car and do the same thing on the current or the charge rate, is it can only ever go less than what the EVSE is offering. So when you plug an EVSE in, doesn't matter what it is, if it's a HPWC, a UMC, a ZAPI, a single phase, a 3-phase, whatever the current is that the EVSE is offering, then the maximum that you can set on your car is either, well, say in your Model 3, in 3-phase, is you can't set any more than 16 amps if your EVSE is offering that. But say if the sun was almost down and your EVSE is down to 8 amps, then when you try and hit plus, all it does is stops at 8 amps. And if you hit minus, it'll go to 7 amps and 6 amps. And I think 5 amps actually as well.
Yeah, that's okay. I was just concerned that, so say in the morning and it starts off at 8 amps and it's showing it won't go over 8 amps.
Yes.
As the sun comes up and the charger can offer more,
yes,
will the app automatically go up as well?
No, because if you've actually manually pressed the negative button or the down button and selected a current that's less than what was offered at that time, the car will sit at that low level forever. Literally, for days and forever, indefinitely. So the way to reset that is tell your EVSE to go full rate, which I know ZAPI you can. And so what was your charger, Barry?
Hypervolt.
Hypervolt. So if you just tell your Hypervolt to go flat out, which is offering, well, depending on, I presume when it was installed, whatever your circuit breaker limit is, that limit was told to the EVSE, to the Hypervolt.
32 amp.
Single phase.
Yeah.
Yes. So what you should do is just once tell your Hypervolt to offer 32 amp single phase. When it's delivering that, so you do it like a nighttime override or a boost. I don't know if you've got a boost button or some similar function on your app.
Yeah.
Tell it to boost. Then whatever current your car is drawing, which is probably 8 amps or something, just ramp it up to 32 amps. So set your car to the maximum because in your case it's up to the EVSE to modulate what the car does. So in your case, Barry, if you've got a intelligent EVSE, don't touch your current limits, because all you'll do is you'll restrict them, and then you'll have to try and sit there and estimate when, and you could actually confuse the algorithm of the EVSE, because it might be offering, say, 10 amps, you're drawing 9, and it then may offer 11 and start ramping up and offering more than it ought to or whatever, because it's looking at the car and the car's just belligerently not taking that extra charge. So yeah, go to boost, set it to max, and don't touch it again. For the rest of us, if we've got solar and we haven't got an intelligent EVSE, then we can sit on our apps with our solar apps and go, oh, there's not much sun, let's just ramp it down a bit. But yeah, Barry, just set it to max for a little period.
Okay, so as long as you've set it to max once,
yes,
even though it reduces, it will go back up again when the power is available, as long as you don't touch it.
Yeah. So you set it to max once, set your charge limit in your car to max to the 32 amps, and then leave it alone. Reset your EVSE back to normal mode, which is at night time it'd be off, and then the next day it'll work properly.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks, Harold.
I've got a comment about something similar, Harold. There's one of those Revs projects charges down near me at Coburn Central Shopping Centre. When you plug a Type 2 into that one into your car, it lets you draw 32 amps.
Yep.
However, it just trips it.
Yep.
And you actually have to put it down to 13 amps. to let it work, which is just shit. Anyway, even on PlugShare it says run at 13 amps. Anyway, my comment about that situation is I didn't actually click at the time, but the car must have a GPS set for the current as well.
Yes.
Because when I'm on my house, it puts it up to 15. When I go to work, it puts it to 10. And when I go to the free charges, it changes between 32 and 13 automatically.
Dead right, Russell. Dead right. So for every GPS location that you charge at, you can actually, well, effectively reduce the current. Because if you're at an unknown location, the default current, I think, will be the maximum current, I think. But you can have, and I don't know what the limit is, but each place you go to, you can customize to use less current than has been offered.
Yeah, because the second time I went there, I'm like, oh shit, I've got to quickly go in there and change it before I blow it up again. And it didn't have to. I'm like, oh, yeah, so it was actually pretty cool.
Actually, and that's a great pro tip. One day, Pete, we'll do a whole lot of pro tip videos.
Is there anything we can get them to crank that power up, or is that they're just going to let me have 13 and that's it there?
I can see some issues with those pro tip videos. I think we're drawing the line there a bit with waterboarding torture and stuff. I think there's a level there that you need to pull back in. I think.
Well, the thing is, Jared, I think
pro tips, not tips for pros. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And the thing too is, Jared, I thought that simply making people watch this video in one sitting, as say people like Paul has done and others, man, that's got to be a violation of so many United Nations treaties. I just don't know.
100%. We're breaking every law known to mankind.
Tesla killer boarding.
Tesla.
Oh well, actually, I'm going to as a very special treat.
When it hit the 1,000.
Well, exactly right. I'm going to turn off my virtual background.
That Rob Mao is a bad influence.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And
it's a green screen.
It's a green screen. I just got to tuck my shirt in because unlike newsreaders, I actually have pants on.
Thank God for small blessing. And I do mean small.
So Russell, you live in near Coburn?
Yeah, I own the suburb, mate. So
you know Nigel then, is he one of your renters? Nigel's doesn't he live in Coburn as well?
Does he? Oh, okay. I haven't seen him.
I'm pretty sure
this is the real Harold Murphy. Oh, he's got one.
That's the decanter, yep.
And has he got a shot glass? Oh, he's got
the
two.
decanter.
Oh, that's
Look at that. There you go. Harold, you must have every Tesla product known to man.
I've actually got two.
You're not normal, mate. You're not normal.
But tragically,
one's been damaged.
This one's
Oh no.
been damaged.
That's the
You bring
holy
it back
one.
from America?
Sorry?
These the one. Did you bring anything back from America when you went to Tesla?
No, nothing of significance. No.
Okay.
Just a few SCDs, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
So tequila's evaporated in that time.
Oh no, these decanters, they're only decanters. You can't get you can't get the Tesla Killer in Australia.
Yeah.
You can only get the decanter.
Only if you live in Mexico. Comes with a package.
And obviously the thing behind me, that's the large Cybertruck, which obviously looks small there.
Look at that, it's getting bigger all the time.
This is the new one that's out now, isn't it?
That's a large one.
Oh, it's got the.
That's the other one.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's a smaller one.
I was going to ask you, what's the noise on this Iridium? What What's the story with that, Harold?
Iridium what?
Yeah,
No, it's talking about the Rivian truck.
The truck.
Oh, Rivian.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They've started making about, last month they made about
Richard
20
Chapman's
of them.
looking at one, isn't he?
Yeah, Richard Chapman. Yeah, and I think they're up to about 50 or 60 that they made last month.
Hey, Harold, have you ordered the side view mirrors for your Cybertruck? Ones you can remove.
Green screen comes down. Well, it's not motorized, Harold. That's a bit
No,
of a
it's not yet motorized. Sorry, what was that now, Richard?
I said, have you ordered your side view mirrors for your truck? Because the trucks they're going to build are going to come with side view mirrors, but they're easily removable. How weird is that?
Are they going to have cameras? I reckon there'll be cameras by then.
No.
There won't be mirrors, there'll be just cameras.
No, Elon reckons they're going to come with mirrors, but they've designed it so you easy to remove.
Well, in some states of America, you can actually buy like a Jeep with wing mirrors, and then you can just take them off.
Yeah.
That's permitted.
Weird.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Um,
It's a weird machine.
And you can always get hammers and hit Cybertrucks in slow motion.
Oh, this guy. Is that Elon's 2IC guy? That guy?
That's Franz von Holzhausen, who designed the Model 3, Model S,
Model 3.
X and 3, I think, basically.
Ex Mazda.
Yeah.
Yes.
Came from Mazda. Oh, wow. Franz.
He's the man.
Franz von Holzhausen. I've got a photo with him, but I'm not bragging.
Sounds like a German porno guy. Franz, the Schneisenschnitzelhasen. The Schnitzel. The Wiener Schnitzel was the Krasen.
Says the man
Yeah.
drinking from a bloody stein.
Yeah, exactly. Schneisen with the Wiener Schnitzel. Yeah, was the Krasen. What is drinking?
I think that means I need to modify this warning to include other stuff. Oh, it didn't work. Oh,
bloody Uber drivers.
Oh, I know, you can't
Viewers
trust
are
them.
advised that this recording may contain references to Synergy, 2 Weeks, and Grimes.
And Franz von Holzhausen.
Anyone triggered by these or similar phrases should press pause and subscribe to the Nissan Leaf channel.
Or probably just press stop, because I don't know why you just pause it. You should just stop it.
You know the wait times that we're talking about at the moment. Just a bit of a tidbit. My friend told me today that his parents just ordered a Mercedes EQA. Is it
EQC?
No, EQA is a new one.
Oh,
Yeah.
the one with the big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why they bought it anyway. Whatever. Anyway, that's not the point. They said they're not going to get delivery till after March.
That's right.
Really?
Yeah.
That's right.
Because you know what, you can get a standard range Model 3 in.
How long do you think all that'll take?
2 weeks.
Really? Yeah, that's all.
Any idea when you're going to be finished here?
2 weeks.
How long will it take to put this place together?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I do get the permits. How long will the job take? 2 weeks. 2 weeks? 2 weeks? You sound like a parakeet there. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks. It's amazing.
You know that's my favourite movie.
It'll be a regular miracle.
That's my favourite movie of all time. The Money Pit. Got to watch it. You watched it, Pete?
It looks
an
and
80s
sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's an
but-
80s classic. Absolutely.
But I'm wondering whether that's because it's been imprinted on my brain over the last few weeks.
Only the 2 weeks.
That is 2 weeks.
Only for the last 2 weeks. That's right.
Last 2 weeks, definitely.
One good thing is at least I know what I'm going to end the show on. And if we get away with the copyright violation, I might have to just end the show every single time with that same clip.
No.
I think if it's under 8
You've
seconds, Harold, I
got
think 8 seconds.
Screaming woman. That's it.
It is. I think it is. It is less than 10 seconds. So
Yeah, if it's under 8 seconds, it's under the copyright law.
I should be all right.
And this is Richard Cooper playing piano, by the way, isn't it? When he had long hair.
Yes, that's right. Yes, I'm gonna. Oh, look, we just play it again because it's just good fun.
It's great.
And Jared knows a little secret too, but we're not going to divulge that until much later.
Much later. There he is, Dr. Cooper. His younger days.
You're as cold as ice.
Look at Pete smile. He's like, yeah. You know, it must be horrible driving around with such, what can we say?
That was a seat cover, wasn't it, Pete? That was a seat cover there, not a.
Jesus Christ. Hey, you certainly got the pick of the litter. Look, don't care what they say, Pete. It was worth staying 3 weeks outside the doghouse for 3 weeks as well. It was worth it.
No doghouse.
He was.
I knew I should have gone to sleep half an hour ago. I knew. I just had that feeling that I was overstaying at my own risk.
Actually, Pete, you probably already are asleep, and you're actually sleepwalking or sleep talking.
Yeah, sleep talking. You got to admit, she was a complete hottie. That girl, wasn't she? Absolutely.
Oh, enough of that, because we're still being recorded. And she's a lovely Synergy employee.
Definitely.
Who was
a great Synergy employee.
A great
ambassador.
A great sport.
Great sport. That's what I meant to say. Great sport.
And extremely good looking.
And thankfully, everyone that partook in that program did sign an agreement that they were being filmed at the time. So she's aware that footage was being filmed. And she did quite sagely say that Pete was just looking for a reaction. And of all the reactions, that was the best one. And
it's the best reaction, definitely.
It was just so genuine. Yeah.
But it's the same reaction to anyone else that gets in their car and you do that, you put your foot down. It's the same reaction. I've seen it so many times.
And actually, I actually think, well, it's a shame that Alex isn't still on. And much to my embarrassment, I do believe Alex is almost as famous as we are, because he was on some talent show. Is that right?
Oh yes. Alex, where are you?
Like, excuse my ignorance, but he was on. Like, he didn't win, did he? But he came not last.
Where is he? Is he not on anymore?
No, he had to go to bed because he's the youngster. You know, you got to go to bed early.
What show was he on? What
Man
just performing arts or something? Is it?
It was Farmer Wants a Wife or something, mate.
No. He was on one of the reality singing shows, The Voice or Australian Idol, one of those.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Really, Alex?
Yeah.
Alex,
and he did really well.
Yeah, his Twitter account actually says the real Alex or whatever, because if you don't say you're real, then you must be unreal, which could be a good thing too. But
Alex, the young Alex that says 3 words every time he comes on.
Yeah, that's because he's a singer. He's not a sayer. He sings.
He's also an auto electrician.
Well, he's a singing electrician, and that's a good thing. Shout out to you, Alex.
He's a lovely man, Alex.
His Twitter says official Alex.
Sorry,
Davis.
official.
Yeah. And singer, music enthusiast, X Factor Australia,
X Factor
2016 contestant, supporting young music artists.
Yeah, cool.
So X Factor 2016.
Richard Cooper was a male model back before colour television.
Come on, have we got? Is this brag time?
He used to do the underwear section at Target before it was colour.
I'll show you what I really used to do if you want to see.
Oh, here we go. Now we're going to the dungeon.
You're hovering over the pause button.
Here we go.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going.
Hello, look at this.
This is my brag wall. So,
is this the tooth? Is this the big giant
Sport Australia Award
for a tooth?
No, 1985 ballroom dancing.
Ballroom dancing.
We were in the 1985 Team of the Year. We won the 1985 Team of the Year any sport in Australia, ballroom dancing. We won the British Open of the World Dance Championships. And this was signed by Brian Burke, but his signature's faded away just like him.
Oh, so sorry. Was that signature as good as the checks that he wrote? I mean,
Yeah,
allegedly.
that's right. So that's gone.
Off the back of the
Brian
Black,
Burke.
Black Swan in Fremantle.
But it's gone. So that was good fun. Oh, and you want to see my world record fishing certificate?
What?
You're fishing.
Did you read that?
Is this Dr. Cooper or
Look, it's
Bear Grylls?
good. It's in
What are you
gold.
talking
It's
about?
gold plated.
It is gold plated. Oh, and that's me meeting the Pope.
It's you meeting the Pope.
All right.
Oh my God.
And that's my,
my
tailor.
Pope.
That's a tailor on the wall that I caught that was 100 grams off a world record, but that was a long time ago.
That's well before colour television.
Wow.
That's a tailor fishing. I'm a fly fisherman, so.
And what about the dentist work? Is there any like trophies for being a dentist or?
Oh, and there's my grandfather's certificate.
Yeah.
That's my father's. And there's mine and my daughter's a dentist
So
too.
Richard, so you're a third generation dentist.
Yeah, I am, and my daughter's fourth.
Oh,
Wow, that's
She graduated 98 years after my grandfather graduated.
Oh, that's way
my God.
So there you go. Sorry, that's my little brag. I won't ever do that again.
Oh no, yes, you will.
that's
because You'll be doing that every week, Richard, by popular demand.
Absolutely.
I can share something with you if you want to go on pause.
Excellent.
About my past, if you like.
Oh, hang on. We're going to
Oh,
go.
I can pull out one of my ARIA awards. I think I've got this one. I've got my Australian Lighting Designer of the Year award.
Yay.
Right. And
Music
were
awards.
you one of one contestants?
I've got an ARIA. I got 2 ARIAs for lighting for John Butler. That was pretty good. So yeah, there you go.
Well, my dog Rex in the 1970s in Karratha got third prize ribbon. It was a green ribbon, third prize in the
biggest crap of the day, right?
No. It was in the dog showing competition, and he got third prize. I was so proud. The only problem, I guess, was that there were only 3 dogs in the competition, and that's so true.
That's funny.
And he got third prize. I was so proud.
Hey, look, George has got his dog. Oh, hang on.
George has got his dog.
That's right. It's Flocky.
There's my dog.
That's Flocky.
What's going on there? Richard's got a dog.
Flocky the Dogecoin dog.
Hang on.
What's going on with that boy?
That's Bossy's having a sleep. There we go.
Jeez, Richard,
Just like Pete and I.
I was concerned with that. I'm speechless. I need to go on pause.
That's something.
That was
I
tricky.
can't believe that orange car. That burnt orange.
Oh, burnt orange. Model X.
Actually, you know what? I thought the reaction to that burnt orange car was probably better than that reaction in Pete's car when that girl saw that burnt orange.
Burnt orange. That's what it is.
I'm just glad I took a screen capture of that, and now I can just save it away.
Oh well, Russell, there you go. You've
That's-
taught me something I had
That's
no
awesome.
idea.
Russell's the dark horse.
He's definitely the dark horse, man. I tell you, he's coming up.
I got a few stories too for another pause session. I can tell you a few more stories if you like.
Yeah.
Oh, look, no, actually, what we're going to do is, you see, for anyone that wants to support Tokwa, please go to patreon.com/Tokwa. And for the Plaid Plus membership, which hasn't been announced yet, we'll get all of the outtakes of Ask Us Anything and even talk around the clock. And we'll have a full expose by Russell.
Yep.
Whatever that means, I don't even know.
Don't invite me that way.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
In fact, I think at the AGM there should be a special talent quest. I think
award. Should be an
Hey,
award.
Harold, I've just had a brilliant idea. What I'll do is I'll get my sexy shorts, and Russell can model them.
Mind blown.
My short shorts.
Short shorts.
Tesla short shorts, and Russell can model them.
That could be part of the Tokwathon. Forget telethon. We're going to do it.
And we can sit there and
Start sprinkling the money.
You've got some antique $1 bills with the Queen on top or underneath if you prefer.
No,
And just,
throw Tesla shares in it.
Ooh, that would be expensive. That would be expensive. So let me just save this little screen capture because that's very important.
Oh, quarter to 12.
I can send you the originals if you want, Harold, if you prefer.
Oh yes, please. You got any 3D? You know. Oh dear, that's just
That's gold. That is.
that is
That is
gold.
absolute gold, Russell. That is crazy.
Russell's a dark horse.
He is. He's come out of nowhere, that boy. Absolutely.
That's why I got the long range, Harold, as well.
Yeah, but I got a performance. So did Pete.
Yeah, but you know what? But you know what?
Oh,
If you've got an SR plus, you can always charge you 100%. None of this 90% business. So oh, that's terrible. I think we might start getting ready to close. I just want to get the NASDAQ up and see what Tessa's doing because these days it's kind of topical.
What do you do for a living, Russell?
No, these days, not what did you do?
Not many hearts did you break?
Yeah, so I work in an industry called digital engineering. So I design computer processes and automation for the construction industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't look intelligent.
Yeah, I'm not. I got a lot of smart people around me.
Right.
So we'll be linking in. We'll be linking Russell's LinkedIn account in the description below. And I dare say Russell might be seeking a job shortly. So if you'd like to employ a highly talented
answer,
yes, person, then please do respond to the pending job ad for Russell. Support his new career. Yeah, so by the way, Tessa is at $1,054, so up about 3.5%. So for those shareholders, that's happy days.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. Well, I think it might be a good time to wrap this up. As we said long time ago, it's been a massive week. $1 trillion for Tesla. It's amazing. And let's hope it keeps going. Everyone here, you know, huge thanks for being here and being here, well, right to the end. Big shout out to Ashley. And everyone else that watches, Joseph, Hosni Mubarak, Damon, Burnt Orange, and everyone here. Have a wonderful week. Next week will be at a venue we haven't chosen yet. No one had any ideas, so I'm just going to pick one. Kudar Tavern won't work because, as George said earlier, that's not working. So, quick straw poll. Anyone got any quick ideas? Bearing in mind it's on a Wednesday evening and it's night time. Well,
Williams.
Yeah, that's great. Somewhere close. That's cold. That's Williams. Is that a social catch up or just an overnighter?
Yeah, Williams will be great. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Idea.
Do you know how many kangaroos there are just outside of Kalamunda?
Yeah. Oh God.
Right. So, anyone at all? No.
You can put a poll up on Facebook.
What about the Como Hotel?
I'll text you one in a second, Harold. Got an idea.
Harold, the Como?
No, the Como's got. I've been to Como since they put Dan Murphy's there. It's got shocking parking. There's just no parking whatsoever. So that's just not going to. That's not going to work. That's just
Come
not
on,
going to
Pete.
work. Sorry, it says someone who was about to spoil off the out trade. I'm waiting for Pete's text so he can quietly know.
Yeah, I'm just sorry. I just under pressure.
Is there any?
That's another song, but I haven't done that video yet. I'm not sure if there's.
Hey, Harold, I also sent you an email as well to Secretary with an idea.
Oh, cool.
So maybe this week you can look at that one and get it ready for next week potentially.
So while Pete's under pressure, shall I tell you a joke?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
tell us a joke, Richard.
This is about a guy, married couple, and she's downstairs getting breakfast, and he comes down, and she starts taking her clothes off. Did I tell you all this one? She said,
No, sorry. I just saw Russell's idea, and sorry, I'm really interrupting you, Richard.
No problem.
Russell, I've been there so many times, and it's hilarious, and I've tried it, but it's a lower tone. Like,
okay.
They're lower, and
Yeah.
oh, there's it.
Yeah.
I've just
Adventure World is not for everybody.
I've just wet myself watching those videos, and I've tried to make it work, but I haven't put the 10 minutes of time to get the tone lower to make it fit, but it's hilarious. Yeah.
That's what this joke is about.
It's a cracker. Yeah, so sorry, go on, Richard.
This joke is going to lower the tone. So anyway, he comes downstairs and she's making breakfast, and suddenly she starts ripping her clothes on. She's, quick, come over here, make love to me, make love to me. So he rips his girl off, makes love to her. And he says, that was lovely. What was that all about, darling? She says, I couldn't find the egg timer.
Apologies to all those mature gentlemen that feel like they've been slighted.
Oh, Jesus. Go the old doctor, hey? The old doctor, number one.
You've got to have balance in your life, and I don't have any, so.
100%, 100%.
No, you've just got awards, Richard, for the best fisherman and ballroom dancer, dentist, third generation.
Fourth.
No.
My progeny is fourth.
Progeny is fourth, so you've carried forward the tradition. Or I presume your daughter had no choice actually, and she was already pre-enrolled.
No, not at all.
Or was it that you had those connections that meant that she was always going to get in?
No, not really.
It was the feeling of his life. Is that right, Richard?
So
she's the crown of my existence.
So Pete, did you get that suggestion to me? I don't think so.
Sorry, yeah, 7 Mile Bar and Bistro in Balcatta.
Do you have to be a patch member to go there, Pete?
Isn't that?
It's a very nice family venue.
Do we have to join a club of some sort?
Isn't that the old Nookanburra, Pete?
Look at a baseball bat.
It's on Wanneroo Road in Balcatta.
Say again.
On Wanneroo Road in Balcatta. It is. Trying to bring up the map.
The Nookie was on Scarborough Beach Road 100 years ago.
Yeah, sorry. No, Balcatta's. Oh, yes. It's opposite the shopping centre at Target and stuff. I think.
No,
it's just north of Balcatta Road on Wanneroo Road. It's 7 miles from town.
Yeah, it's on the corner. Yeah, of Balcatta. Yeah.
That's the one right next to the Reed Highway, right? Is that the one you're talking about?
It's before Reed Highway, south of Reed Highway, Chris. I've been there once in the daytime. I just don't recall it though. I was outside it actually. Yeah, I'll have to have a suss, Pete. That could be on the go because it's north of the river, which we need to be. Because last time we were at the Windsor and the Como Hotel, the Como car show.
So I was there with my wife maybe about 6 weeks ago for dinner.
Yep.
And I know the owner, so owners. So yeah, let me know and I can try and tee it up if you want.
Well, that's probably a hot tip well, for people watching this later, it will be in retrospect, but yeah, that sounds good to me. Thanks, Pete, for doing my homework. All right, on that note, I think it's good to end it. Once again, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell thingy. Thank you everyone for watching. I think we'll just end it on this outro, and then I'll just say, well, I won't even say anything. I'll just end it. So this is for everyone that loves the 80s. I think, Jared, you were saying that Richard, I didn't realize, Richard, that you're also a world famous pianist.
He's definitely a great pianist.
Got to
So-
keep some things quiet.
Absolutely. But sometimes we need to out people of this group, including Alex for his me and Richard. So
And
on that
Russell.
note-
his body.
And Russell's new little secret.
and Russell's
Yeah.
That haircut is
He's
awesome.
he's going to change his name now to Clark Kent. He looks like Clark Kent when he gets that coat off. Hello.
absolutely. And this program is going to end in about 9 seconds. So on that note, good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. He's Doctor.
You're as cold as ice.
And it froze.
And yes, it did. And then we're gone.
And we're gone.
Right
Doesn't
now.
get old.
3,
See ya.
2,
Night, everyone.
1.